You're listening to Hair of the Dogcast, a proud part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. Check out Hair of the Dogcast and all of Greenlit shows at greenlitpodcast.com. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 82 of Hair of the Dogcast. Yo, why this game so scary, yo? Yeah, is that a good title?
Sure.
Or how dare you bring the scare?
Yo, I don't understand why we're starting with yo.
Yo. It's all I can think of.
Dude.
Anyways, welcome to Hair of
the kids.
Welcome to Hair of the Dogcast. My name's Tom. We are going to be talking about games that were unintentionally scary but still scared the shit out of us. Anyways, a little bit later in the episode.
And maybe just Scary James.
Scary James.
Scary James.
That's also a great
Steve
DJ
House.
name.
Scary James.
DJ Scary James.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
We were talking about DJ names before we started recording here.
I'm planning on mine being scam likely. If you're gonna steal it soon.
But he will always be our DJ, Dr. D. Introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, it's me, Dylan. I'm here again. The most prominent member of the podcast.
He never left, folks. He never left.
Oh, I'm still here, baby.
Dylan, great to see you today. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Well, it's good to see both of you.
Once again.
I look forward to this every time.
Yeah. Are you lying to us? I didn't want to say yeah, you
I'm
do.
not. Yeah, yeah, of course you do. No, actually, I do. I look forward to this every single time.
Oh my gosh, that sounded really sincere.
That was actually sincere.
Okay.
I know I sound very sarcastic every time I say things.
So do
Welcome,
I.
Dylan.
Oh,
Right.
Thank you.
So do
Dr.
I.
D.
Dr. D, yes, PhD, MD.
And who's this lovely fellow sitting next to the Dr. D?
Hi, D and Tom. I'm Jivin' Josh.
Oh, Jivin' Josh.
Whoa.
I'm just going to stick with that.
Wasn't it
happy to
Junkyard
be here.
Josh the last time?
I've changed, Tom.
I like.
It's been a couple weeks.
I still like Junkyard.
Junkyard Josh.
If I was a
pretty good.
professional wrestler, it'd be too good.
It is
Yeah.
pretty phenomenal. Guys, welcome. Before we get into it, we have a lot to go through. Any fun things happened to you since we podcasted last time? Since we did the taste test, craft or crap?
Oh, man. Lots of things, Tom, but
Great.
I don't want to, just tell everybody what happened.
You don't want to tell people?
No, it's a really, really long story, Dylan.
Oh, well, I got all the time in the world, baby. I guess my fame has increased exponentially. People recognize me on the streets. They said, "Oh, you came in second."
Mm-hmm. They
And I
let
was
you
like-
into the studio without any looking at any credentials. They're
It's
like, "Oh,
true.
you've been here before."
Yeah.
It just happened.
They're like, "Oh man, you're the one." And then they open the door, and then I strut in with my pimp hat.
Here you go. Yep. Josh, you didn't want to share anything?
I work at the Drafty Cellar because that's where
Never heard of it.
I work at, and once in a while a weird apple comes in, and
Weird apple.
Yeah, have you ever had anybody just come or see someone in public and he's just got a worm hanging off his coat?
An actual worm.
An actual worm. It
Really?
wasn't even raining
Like a
that-
ground worm?
Yeah, it wasn't even raining. Apparently,
Was he a fisherman?
This guy was a truck driver. He was in with a local that I see once in a great while. Who's fairly kind of with it, but he had this truck driver friend
It is Watertown.
who was
Yes.
well,
That's 80% of the
he's a truck
population.
driver. He's everywhere, man.
Oh,
he's coming with his worms, to
right.
get you.
Yeah.
So yeah, worm guy he's just hanging out, talking really really fast. The ones where you go, this guy probably does cocaine.
Sure.
That
Or
guy.
trucker speed.
Yeah, or trucker speed. He wouldn't say stuff, or he wouldn't stop saying stuff, and he wouldn't let you say stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a worm on the side of his collar. And,
Interesting.
you know,
Yeah. Do you remember Skunk Man from Watertown?
legend.
A legend. He belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Watertownians.
Was he actually is this like a cryptid? I know this is Halloween. I don't know what you have in Watertown.
No. So I was just wondering. I was just wondering if Wormman was taking the spot of our
Trying.
dear departed Skunk Man.
Skunk
Oh,
Man.
he died when?
a while ago.
A while ago.
Yeah, he was a guy who had something, not functioning right.
Yep.
Right up there.
Did he own skunks?
He had a pet skunk or not a pet skunk, but a stuffed skunk that he would walk around town with. He was a Vietnam veteran,
he's a veteran.
who had some PTSD issues.
Okay, wow. Okay.
I can't make his name was Scott. He was actually a really nice guy. He would come into.
I never got to talk to him. I always kind of wanted to, but yeah.
Yeah, he would come into
skunk, man.
the large retailer that I used to work at in Watertown, and he was obsessed with the Three Stooges, so he'd always buy Three Stooges VHS tapes.
Did he bring a skunk?
That's awesome.
But he would talk when he would talk, he sounded absolutely normal. It's just he would carry around a pet skunk. So
I mean, listen, I've met a few. I've learned that you're not supposed to call them homeless anymore. They're unhoused.
Really?
I guess so. I don't know. I'm just following it. I don't really care.
Yeah, that's right.
People correct me on pronouns. I'm like, I'm into it. It's fine. And there was a guy who was walking around with a few of his buddies, and they introduced me to Fifi the duck.
Fifi the duck.
This is Fifi the duck, and and it's literally like one of the chew toys that looks like a mallard that you give to like your dog.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, this is the duck of Milwaukee. This is Fifi the duck. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, hey, man, can you buy some food? And I'm right next to a gas station. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I go in there and I buy him a few like apples and bananas. Mm-hmm. And then I go out there and I'm like, man, what the fuck's this shit? I'm like, fine. I just literally bite into the apple. I'm like, I bought you food, dude. Like, I don't know what you fucking want. Like,
not good
I thought this was like this is actually like nutritious.
Ducks eat bread, right?
Ducks eat bread.
Yes.
I'm sorry they didn't have fish for your duck.
Or Johnny Walker. Yeah, they don't drink Johnny Walker. Yeah, that's crazy. But if I was ever a radio DJ, I think my call sign would be Fifi the Duck. The Morning Zoo with Fifi the Duck.
It sounds a little too erotic.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
It's like a sexy duck name.
I guess so. Anyways, welcome to Hair of the Dogcast. This episode is brought to you by executive producers Tyler Keller, Allison Smith, Mark Nenow, Brian Ward, and Kate Conti, and lovely, lovely, beautiful, super sexy listeners such as yourselves. If you want to
yourselves, people in the mirror.
If you feel like going and supporting the Dogcast, head to patreon.com/hair of the Dogcast. Take a look at some of the tiers, and if not, don't you worry about it. We love you just for being here, but if you're around, just give us a review. And if you like what you hear, go to iTunes and get those stars all the way up to the 5, maybe.
Or send us questions. I'll literally field most of them, and it will piss everyone else off on the Dogcast.
You do, and you delete them.
Fucking do it.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it is time to get to it, gentlemen. Headline Brews starts right now. First story. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Okay.
All right. News story number 1. I don't know if you're on the internet looking at YouTubes or following anything from the new next gen consoles that are coming in like 2 weeks from today almost. Sony revealed what the PS5 UI, the interface, looks like. I don't know if any of you guys checked out this video.
I saw it.
You did?
Yeah.
What are not.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
It's laid out. It's laid out pretty well. It's kind of laid out in the same way as the PS4 one was.
A little bit, yes.
But a little more like sectioned off towards the top. I assume the bottom part's for advertisement.
That's probably what it's going to devolve into. Yeah, of course
but it's also just like there's a reason I don't love the Switch's UI system at all. But I will say, like, hey, there are most of the games I've played recently. Like, there they are. They're there. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. If they do something like that, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like UI, unless it's the Xbox One where it is a complete and utter failure.
What are you talking about, man? Just kidding.
Yeah, I want to press the select button to get into the menu to find the way to find my games.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah, well, as long as it's not a disaster, I really don't care. I liked the PS4's UI pretty much.
So did I. Yeah. It was just, I mean, it was no frills. Everything was just in a line, like the cross. I think they called it like the cross media bar, which this PS5, like you said, looks the same. It's just a little cleaner, but it still maintained like a familiar look. So
and I think that's their entire motto for this entire generation at Sony. It's just like, hey, it's like this, but better.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? You remember the days of when every time you got a new console, it was a completely new interface.
Well, the PS3 was, I don't know if you can think of it off the top of your head, that UI looked awful. That UI always looked bad.
The PS3?
Yeah,
it was like the PSP.
because they wanted it to be kind of like a multimedia type of machine, and I don't think most people were downloading their CDs onto a PS3, so I don't really know.
Yeah. I used to download my CDs to the Xbox 360.
Just so you could listen to them in Grand Theft Auto 4.
System of a Down during Project Gotham Racing.
There you go.
Yeah, it was
Fair
the only
enough.
way to play that game. Yeah. During the video, they did explore some of the new features that we will be seeing when we play the PS5 on November 12th. Each game apparently has an app that is displayed on the menu itself, and there's like a different area to designate between games and media. So like your YouTube apps and game apps. So each game app kind of encapsulates a hub. So when you click on it, it doesn't just boot into the game. It shows you kind of like internet activity, like recent goings on or updates with the game, DLC events and video clips and shit like that. And I guess backward compatible PS4 games will also benefit.
I guess I mostly just have a question because me and Josh we're not really participating in the launch of this.
You're
I'll be
conscientious
watching. I'll be
objectors.
checking out
I'll
games.
be, but we're not like participating.
We're
We're not like involved in the process. And I'm just wondering, is any of this like really like going to ever to anyone be a make or break type of scenario in terms of their purchase? Because for me, like this is all just kind of like people are going to learn this no matter what.
I mean,
like,
you're stuck with it.
Inevitable, like
Whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they're going to change it either, because once the UI is built in, it's a pain in the ass to change it. It's why Nintendo doesn't have like, like downloadable backgrounds for like their home screens and stuff like that. It's still literally just the black and white that it comes out with. So it's just I feel like no company is ever going to give a shit about that anymore.
The having like a wallpaper kind of thing.
Really.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing.
I think some people really like that factor, but that's not their deciding thing.
Like some people like the themes, know.
Yeah.
If there's
personalization.
personal
If you're a
themes.
fanboy of like a certain game, like say Doom, like some people.
Like some people, I don't know
Are
anybody
they
who
still
likes that
doing
game.
that though? Because I don't get like the day one
Not as often.
DLCs.
Not as often, but I think that every once in a while there's still.
There was like last year, PlayStation was giving away some like seasonal, like this is a Halloween theme, this is a whatever theme.
Oh, I like that.
And
that's cool.
You look at Roku, the streaming box or device, and they do an ad. Like they have their basic one. It's kind of fun. Their screensaver, and then they add things during the seasons as well. They should just do it for fun, and not make it an option. I don't know. It's not a big deal unless you want to add those.
I like the theme idea, and especially like based on the season.
Yeah.
Like even Monster Train, I was playing it last night, and it was totally Halloween themed.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
That's cool.
a lot right now.
Destiny always does. Yeah.
Rocket League did a Ghostbusters. Like a added game for
This year.
just recently, and it's only for like 3 weeks or something.
Sure.
So I've
That's
actually got back into playing that.
Right on. I thought is Ghostbusters coming to Fortnite or something
That already
a little
happened.
bit. Okay, that already did.
I kind of want to give it a shot. I don't mind Fortnite. It's not my favorite game, but I can appreciate the concept of it with the building, and it's something I won't get down. I just want to play it a few times to see what the deal is.
That's cool.
And there's another game. I couldn't believe how many games are doing that though. Fun themes just for the season.
Yeah, and
Pretty cool.
People need a little fun right now.
Yeah, just a little though.
Well, Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Mine too.
I am not like a total.
Let's be friends.
Oh, come on. Thanksgiving all the way.
We already are, bud. You know what? It's funny though. Like I don't dress up a lot and go out and do things for Halloween, but it's the season, and it's this idea that things are changing and kind of dying. And I love like scary stories. I listen to a ton of podcasts for that, and I like when like you do things and it embraces it, because if you're stuck in your house, the only way things are changing for you is if you do it for yourself. And I can barely get up to piss. Right. So like, I think it's really cool that even though this kind of codifies like games as a service, I think it's fun. If it's fun, I don't care.
Good. All right. There you go. That's been the PS5 UI. Yeah.
Do you like fun, Tom?
I have dabbled.
Not the band.
Not a big.
That's fun, period.
I went through a fun phase. Yeah, that was. I
Tonight
don't
we
speak
are
about
young
this.
or whatever. Is that them?
Probably.
Hey, I think so. Yes, that is that one.
That's the only song I know.
Yep, and Some Nights. That was a popular one.
Sure, whatever, dude.
Okay, so the PlayStation Store. I thought it was pretty cool. The PlayStation Store is no longer a separate app. It is actually built into the menu, like the home
Fucking
screen.
finally.
So that's neat.
Well, that's what I said. The bottom area is for advertisement.
Yes, and they showed the bottom area when you click the store. That's where it does display. Just quickly, they also showed these things called activities, and I don't know if you guys have been hearing about these, but these are like game-specific like cards that display on the home screen depending on what games you're playing, and these kind of show your progress in the games that you're currently playing, and objectives that you are about to meet. Potentially, it can show you hints on how to achieve those objectives.
It's like a new trophy thing, or
I think the example that they gave in the video, they were playing Sackboy's Big Adventure, and
just say that again.
That's always
Sackboy's Big Adventure.
I hate it.
Yeah,
this is the rated R DLC,
and I think the
Sackboy sometimes.
And I'm probably wrong, but just bear with me here. I think the user was trying to jump up to a certain ledge and couldn't make it. And the game was suggesting or had a video like ready for you to click into to show you how to do it.
I don't like that.
And you can like picture it next to you as you're playing.
By its very nature, I do not like this on principle. I'm very much a person who's going to be playing.
It's a polarizing feature that people are kind of
because literally you have a phone right next to you.
Yeah,
there's no keyboard on your. Like you can buy a keyboard, I imagine, for a PS5. You can literally plug in a Bluetooth, I imagine.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like, why? I could just fucking look this up on my
phone. I think Sony was advertising it as a more focused kind of assistant.
Curated?
Because they mentioned like what you can avoid spoilers. You know, if you go on the internet, there's a chance if you will encounter other spoilers for the game if you're looking up this one area, where here it will just show you. It could just show you a video of how to get to that specific ledge and not disseminate any other
You don't know how to
information.
jump in a video game though.
It's an example. God damn it. Jesus Christ.
Maybe they're just trying to steal that market,
right?
The YouTube market of people the playthroughs,
sure.
And they're trying to focus on themselves rather than why give YouTube our hits, even though there's somebody already playing the game.
That's intriguing. Then, so are the developers of these games then kind of building their own little tutorials that they submit to PlayStation, and then PlayStation would show you that?
Good question. I think in a lot of cases, yes. I'm not positive. I did not do that much digging.
This intrigues me in that sense.
But I think developers
we'll see where they go
will have say in like how they measure progress in a game. Like, it might, if you're playing an RPG, it might say you're like 33% done. What metric are they using for that?
Assassin's Creed tells you at every turn how many percentage points you were away.
Yeah, like based on your collectibles and story progress. But, if there's a lot of like optional content and shit, I don't know. I think it's definitely developer focused, and they will have a lot of say in that. So
that intrigues me.
It should be interesting.
Don't even take part. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't take part in it.
Yeah.
But like I said, maybe there's, stealing that market. In order to watch the little clip on it, you gotta watch a commercial.
Ooh, don't give them any ideas.
That's already a thing.
And just a couple other points here. Parties.
Subscribe to YouTube Red or whatever.
I don't know if you guys do a lot of party chats or engage in parties online.
I like to party, but I don't really take part of those.
You are a party
chats.
animal. So people in your party can share the games that they are currently playing, and they have the option to you have the option to drill down into like a live video feed of them playing the game, kind of like another picture-in-picture thing.
Oh, I don't like that.
I think you can kind of set it up the way you want.
Like its own streaming, but through like exclusive like friendship streaming?
I think so. So the guy was playing Sackboy Adventure and someone else was playing Uncharted Lost Legacy, his friend was, and then they just showed like a little, a square box of the person playing Uncharted, and they were able to move it around the screen and just like park it in the corner.
Kind of intriguing. Like it's a way
and
to
talk to each other.
Yeah, it'd be a way to hang out with your friends, say that live in a different state, and you're like, hey, I'm playing this game.
All right.
Yeah,
And
do you know how to do this part?
Just by saying it, you kind of sold me.
So as these new consoles come out, they should actually come prepared to just easily use Switch and stuff, which, rather than hook a ton of stuff up.
Oh, you mean Smart Glass? It came out for Xbox like back in 2013. You guys remember Smart Glass?
No.
How smart was it?
Not very.
Okay.
That's where they tried to do the
Who's on first?
the integration with tap, like your iPad for a second screen experience.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing a game, like some games actually had like all the lore on your iPad as you were playing, so you could access
I don't hate that.
Yeah, it just kind of like a fart in the wind. Just
wasn't ready
Imagine
yet.
a bestiary in a video game and you can just do it on a separate thing. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, bring it back, God damn it. And what else here? Oh yeah, if someone in your party starts a multiplayer game, the game will display on your feed, and then you can just hit join, and it'll take you like directly into that match. I think that's also developer supported. So, but the potential is there. Screenshots, you can tap the button to take a photo and edit that right in the game. There's like a mini photo editing mode and voice dictation. No need to type messages with a keyboard if you don't want to anymore. And I think
finally,
and I think I heard that they're going to be recording chat so people can submit, like people who are being abusive and vulgar.
I don't like that nearly as much.
Could you give like a spank, like every time somebody gets a spank, that you hit 70% spanks for the people that are around you, so you get 70% spankings, you can get booted for a day.
Could be. I don't know how they're going to manage that.
What?
But yeah,
Spanks.
It's lots of spanking. But did you know the Hair of the Dogcast is a podcast about beer and video games and video games and beer, and it's about time we drink a beer. I'm sorry I missed the cue at the beginning of the show, but I'm so excited to get into talking about this PS5 UI.
You are so into this UI.
Man, I tell you. Okay, Josh, Mr. Troubadour, the beer master.
Trooby Wooby is
What are we drinking? Tell the fine folks.
A buddy of mine brought this from South Dakota. It is a porter called
Our very own Bradley's.
Pile O' Dirt. Pile O' Dirt. Brad, have you heard of Crow Peak? Crow Peak Brewing Company in Vegas?
Kansas.
Crow Peak in Black Hills. Have you ever heard of Black Hills?
Yeah, I've heard of Black Hills.
I'm not. But we got a 6%er. It's supposed to be a traditional porter. Remember those guys?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I haven't had like a modified porter.
Right.
A porter with gumdrops and, a porter with
kind of
that.
this is
leather pieces.
How do I say it? It's just right down the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's a porter.
A porter should be. None of that fancy shit.
None of that non-traditional-esque such.
If my dad drank porters or he was still alive, he'd enjoy this porter. This one's for you, Pa.
Oh, so your mother's courting now?
No, thank God.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think she'd give that shit up.
We'll see.
Yeah, she's probably wrong. I mean, what are you going to do in a pandemic, really?
What if I became your stepdad?
No,
We're
let's
not
not do
family
that.
yet.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's okay. This is a pretty good beer. This is
Sorry.
what's this one called again?
This is Pile O' Dirt Porter.
Pile of Dirt.
Where are we? Crow Peak Brewing.
Nice. Well, check it out, people.
Yeah.
If you want a good, solid porter.
Handcrafted in the Black Hills.
Say that's extremely drinkable.
Spearfish, San Diego.
Yeah. Moving on from the PS5, let's hit the Xbox land because that's what we need to do.
I call them Hexbox.
Jonah Hexbox?
No.
I forgot about that one.
Oh.
Famous Western DC character Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like bad movies sometimes, but I never watched that one.
No, it's really bad. It should have been better. Jonah Hex is a really cool property.
Yeah.
I've heard of things.
In a series of interviews, Microsoft's head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, has hinted at some future moves, including a little more information on the Bethesda exclusivity things.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember, we talked about that a few episodes ago. Regarding whether Bethesda ZeniMax or ZeniMax Studio games will be exclusive to Xbox, Phil said the following in an interview with Kotaku when asked if Microsoft needed to ship the games for other platforms to recoup some of the $7.5 billion it paid for all the studios. He said, quote, "We have xCloud and PC and Game Pass and our console base. I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms that we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means," end quote. So still a bit of a non-committal stance, but kind of feels like the wind might be blowing towards the, hey, we're going to keep these things exclusive to us.
Maybe.
You're right, Dylan.
But I mean, like at the same time, they've got so many like options. I think this is all speculation, man. And it's also just posturing. It's like who's ready to play ball with us and who isn't. Mm-hmm. Because this is still so far away. All the games that have been made already for like the PS5 as well, like those are still going to come out on that, period. And there's already deals in place.
Yes.
So I think this is more or less them being like, I don't know.
Yep.
I can't tell you what to do.
Yeah, the games you're talking about, the games you're talking about in question are Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, which had PS5 exclusivity deals prior to
which is
the acquisition
on it. So
yes, so they're going to honor those. And just as a follow up, in a subsequent interview that like just got published either today or maybe yesterday, Spencer said that at the moment he is unable to actually actively plan the future of Bethesda and its games due to not actually having acquired ZeniMax yet. He said, "I get a lot of questions right now. Is this game exclusive? Is this game exclusive? And right now, that is not my job in regards to ZeniMax. My job is not to sit down and go through their portfolio and dictate what happens." Mentioning that, yeah, the deal hasn't, they've only announced their intent to acquire ZeniMax at the moment. So there's not, he can't comment really.
My only,
but he's still stoking the fire a little bit.
The only part that kind of wigs me out about all of this is
you hate the name Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Fuck Phils. It's phonetic.
Fuck Phils. Fuck Phils.
But no, what I'm saying is like the Elder Scrolls 6 should have come out last year if we're following the same trend of like Fallout 3 to Fallout 4.
The dev cycle time.
Even then, they're saying that. I swear to God, they said, "Oh, it might be out by like 2024." I'm like, why has this not been like internally? Like, because if Skyrim was 2011. I'm so bugged by all of this because it's just like you put all of your money into Fallout 76 when you could have had another Skyrim on your hands and made all the money in the world and released it for another 10 years. I could be 50 by the time they do Elder Scrolls 6 remasters.
Yeah.
Like
probably.
They've been like
I don't understand. I don't understand. They bought it and they're like, "Cool, now go for it." I don't understand I wish I could describe it. It's like
I don't know how they split their teams. Bethesda, I know, is a notoriously small team for the size of the games that they make. It's why it takes them a long time. I think at one time, like their team is only like 80 people, and these are the people that made like Skyrim and shit. But Starfield, the game that was announced so long ago and is their next big RPG.
When was that announced?
It was a few years ago for sure.
Like 2016, 2017?
Maybe even before that. I know I was still in Watertown when that got...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about all the Watertown talk, guys. You should check it out. Watertown, Wisconsin. Home of America's First Kindergarten.
Maybe not this time of year.
Yeah, and...
America's First Kindergarten?
America's first exorcism occurred in Watertown, Wisconsin.
Oh, did it?
Really?
I believe so.
Oh, this is spooky talk.
Why? Oh, man. Why
what
are we
do you know
talking
about this?
that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a Halloween episode. I don't know the story, but...
Tom, you keep talking.
Josh is going to look
all
it
right,
up, and I'm so interested right now.
Real life fact checking right here.
Now, I know this isn't about video games.
But Starfield has been... Starfield's... I don't know if this thing's gone through a couple iterations or just been stuck in development hell. This one's taken a long time. But you're right, too. Fallout 76... Did that split the team? Is that the same team, or is that like ZeniMax Online, the same team that does?
It just feels like publishers.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Well, it feels like publishers being like, "Well, we need this much money by this fiscal year. You haven't released a game in 4 years," and it's just like, well,
yeah.
Why can't we just make a good video game?
That's true. Josh, did you come up with anything yet?
I have the story. It's a devilish dairy state in the 1860s. That's all I got.
Catholic? Catholic exorcism.
Carl, the exercise that
Oh,
counts.
that's where they got the name.
There's
a whole story to this.
Okay, I'm going to look it up later.
Right,
I guess.
yep.
I'll inform everyone next time when it's too late for the spooky season.
There you go.
Reverend
In further news, Microsoft is also hinting at a Game Pass streaming stick or apparatus coming out, a la a Google Chromecast. In a separate interview with website Stratechery, Spencer hinted that a lower-cost Chromecast-style dongle or similar lower-cost hardware used to stream Game Pass games may be on the way in the future. When speaking about the potential evolution of the Xbox All Access program, Phil said, I think you're going to see lower-priced hardware as part of our ecosystem. When you think about streaming sticks and other things that somebody might want to just go plug into their TV and go play via xCloud. He also added, you could imagine us even having something that we just included in the Game Pass subscription. And you have an ability to stream xCloud games to your TV. And so I think that totally makes good business sense. They've been developing their xCloud platform for a while now to stream games.
Until we get that universal Wi-Fi that Elon Musk's been talking about, I don't see a lot of streaming gaming actually being good. Because we have the best internet through Spectrum at my house.
Yeah.
And sometimes that fails me
Does
quite
it?
a bit.
I'll tell you what, I picked up the new iPhone, and I don't know if you guys have ever been on a 5G network.
Supposedly I am.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, through T-Mobile.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. They have the local thing. I didn't know they had 5G in Milwaukee. I don't know. I'm sure it's not like a great 5G network, but I was, just downloading all my fucking music and audiobooks while I was setting up my phone out on the 5G. And holy fucking shit, man. Like that, I was shocked at how fast that is.
It's quick.
It made my Wi-Fi seem like dial-up. Like,
yeah.
It was insane. And it's like, holy shit, I don't care if I get fucking brain cancer from this. This is, if you give me like a 5G antenna.
Well, they thought radio waves created brain cancer too, so it's fine.
I'm just saying, I don't care if I get it. You've heard it here first.
Neither do I, Tom, frankly.
Shit.
Just kidding.
You're a doctor. Yeah. But yeah, if it was a way I could just like have an antenna that fed me the fucking cell Wi-Fi, I mean, I still have some testing to do to see how like reliable it is, but holy shit, that was really fast.
We could literally test it when we play Mario Kart Home Circuit later, because my phone is a hotspot for
okay.
5G. We could test it.
We could. Unfortunately, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's not going to work.
Because this building's made of lead?
It uses the Wi-Fi from the switch, not the Wi-Fi from a router. Mm-hmm. And we will speak to this in just a little bit.
The switch uses 3G.
I can't use this as the hotspot to put on my Switch, or like
you can connect your Switch to it to download the games. But if
obviously the Switch isn't going to be able to use that.
All right,
whatever.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Jesus.
Anyways, I was going to say, I think Microsoft releasing like a little Chromecast thing or just an app in TVs, like we kind of talked about before. I know we had this discussion where you just sign up for the subscription and boom. Like a Google Stadia. Well, it's a version of Google Stadia.
Well, here's the thing. I love the idea of all of this because Allie and I, at my house, we have a Google Chrome, or we have a Chrome stick or whatever.
Yep.
And it's fantastic. Like literally, it'll be like we'll be watching something, and she's like, and I'll look up something, and I'll be like, oh, I want to put this on the screen. She'll be like, I'll disconnect. Everything's available for it, and it's just
you guys are so nice to each other. Well, I'll disconnect right now.
No, it's a lot more just like, why isn't disconnected yet? Why isn't it disconnected? And I say, damn it, woman, where's my roast?
God, oh, Jesus, Ellie. She's not going to be executive producer anymore.
I'm the cook.
You are.
I am.
So I don't know. Josh, what do you think? This is a smart move by Microsoft. Should they do this? Should they stick to consoles? Do they know what they're doing?
I really don't care that much. They can do what they want.
You're right.
If it works successfully, why not?
Yeah.
Would you
options?
Be interested in purchasing something like this if you had good internet connection instead of owning like another console?
I'd have to advise and see how it goes. I wouldn't get it right away. Obviously.
Yeah.
Josh is a physical media guy. I don't know if he's gonna like the whole streaming thing.
Yeah, because you don't own your own your games then. Eventually the things you sometimes will take them off the
Well, even CDs degrade.
They do. And games don't even ship with the full games on them anymore. It's sad.
My PS1 died.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
The one with the screen.
Oh,
it's really sad.
The one that was attached to it.
I tried playing. Yeah, it attaches right to it, but then you can flip up the screen. Very good quality for that time. Very expensive at the time as well. I got it from a good buddy of mine.
Buddy.
He gave it to me.
That guy still buddies?
When I graduated high school, actually. Yes, his name is Dunks.
Dunks. Okay, that's a great.
Dunks.
All right, he's still alive?
Yes, he's very alive.
Okay, good.
I don't know actually.
Oh no. Oh no. Dunks, if you're out there, let us know.
Hey, baby.
Still, you should go to patreon.com/hearthedogcast and support your friend Dylan. Okay.
It's rough out there, but
this next one is a little businessy. So if you like businessy stories, this one might be up your alley. If you're not into that, you might want to go grab a beer. Before we talk about this next story, Josh is pouring another beer, so I feel obligated to speak about this one.
Well, let's speak about it. Cigar City Brewing.
Oh.
I know we've had some of their beers on the cast before.
So good. I know what they're doing.
This is their Cubano style espresso. It is a brown ale.
Just
they make a great brown ale.
Give me a little bit.
The Maduro brown ale they normally make, so this is probably the same recipe with coffee.
I love Maduro. That is a great brown ale. I love brown ales, by the way.
Brown who?
Brown ales.
Eels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not lagers.
Brown lagers?
No. Okay, so Cigar City, what's this one called?
Yeah, Cubano style espresso brown ale.
Okay.
And they release this every so often. It's English style brown ale. And
let's try this.
It's good. Let's dig in.
All right. What are you drinking out there, people?
Ooh,
are
I
you
like that aroma.
Bonus points if you're drinking a Cubano.
Coffee's pretty subtle, but
oh yeah,
still good. Very,
I would drink
very drinkable.
A lot of these.
Yeah,
this is really good.
Crushable.
Yeah,
sessionable.
Yeah,
deliciousable.
Lunchables. All that. I am a fan of. Yeah, like I said, I like brown ales, and they just seem like a
dying breed.
Kind of.
They're not as
popular.
Not many people make a good one. Cigar City definitely nails one. And yeah, I hate when the brown ale's thin.
Yes.
And boring. And
this one is not. It's not particularly super bodied, but it's not light. It's
more
good.
Flavors.
So many flavors.
Well, a lot of the time,
and it's still light.
Some of the brown ales I've had, they kind of taste ashy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bit of a cigarette butt kind of aftertaste.
They can, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But when someone does it really well, it's fantastic. Tom, we had one at Explorium.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the Mastodon. It's very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
That one did have a lot of body, and that was one of my favorite brown ales.
They can do it an Imperial one. They're going to soup up the malt base and everything like that. So
yeah.
I like the espresso.
It's
very good.
It's not overkill.
Yeah.
Cigar City's on point.
Easy flavor. Yeah, they make a killer brown.
You know you're going to get a a good beer.
It would actually pair well with a cigar. Every single one of them.
And a city. Yes.
You guys like cigars?
I like the smell. I don't puff on them though.
Yeah, I have a big candle that smells.
I don't smoke. I just don't puff on cigars. I don't think
one of these
about
days I'll take you guys out for a cigar.
It's hard because I end up just smoking it like a cigarette because I don't know. I haven't got the puffing.
Will you teach me how to puff?
Sure.
Fucking puff. All right, you guys ready to talk some? Let's talk some business, guys.
Properly.
Let's talk some business.
Go for it.
Microsoft has entered a multi-year strategic partnership with GameStop with some potentially interesting implications for the struggling retailer. So this partnership was originally announced via a press release by GameStop, or it was a market release. I'm not sure which one, maybe both. Most of the statement detailed that GameStop is going to be using Microsoft's Azure cloud platform and infrastructure to power its back end, and that GameStop store employees will be using, Microsoft devices like Surface tablets and, communication platforms such as Microsoft Teams, which I actually use at my job, to increase productivity and collaboration. So the release kind of came off as hey, we're going to be using Microsoft products and they're going to be helping us, transact our business. But the final point in the press release was kind of interesting and a little bit understated. It read like this: following decades as an essential provider of the Microsoft Xbox gaming platform and services, GameStop has expanded its Xbox family of product offerings to include Xbox All Access, which provides an Xbox console and 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to players with no upfront cost. GameStop and Microsoft will both benefit from the customer acquisition and lifetime revenue value of each gamer brought into the Xbox ecosystem, end quote. So the last statement.
Now that last part, kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
It's almost like an intermediary for a credit card company, if that makes any fucking sense.
A little bit.
Or like a loan service, like a credit union.
Yeah, it caught a few people off guard, so it prompted further investigation by a couple other investment firms who ended up reaching out to GameSpot to clarify. So, and according to an article published by Ars Technica, apparently when users purchase an Xbox console at GameStop, GameStop will not only receive a cut of the console sale itself, but also a percentage of all digital sales purchased on that console for the lifetime of the console. So like every full...
That doesn't make sense to me.
Every game download, DLC, microtransaction, and subscription,
for that
etc.
specific console.
So would they sell them for cheaper?
Well,
that's a lot of money to be made.
Well, I don't think they'll sell it cheaper. I think it's literally providing a brick and mortar, another brick and mortar, because a lot of these are disappearing anyway. So the idea might be the fact that if like out in the middle of fucking nowhere, they don't have like a Target or a Walmart nearby, but for some reason they have a GameStop, that's kind of getting that market further. It penetrates further out into the periphery. I can see why, but I also I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to support GameStop.
One thing I'm thinking is that they might be Microsoft biased if they're joining like this. Maybe.
Well, yeah.
It could be.
I mean,
it's a partnership.
Yeah.
Strategic partnership.
But it's also like, do you go into GameStop just being like, I don't know what I want?
Yeah, you usually have an idea of some sort. Or
I think for the most part, people
for GameStop, yeah, you need, at least for me, I need to know what I want because I got to get the fuck in there and get the fuck out.
And then I've literally gone up to the person and they're like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, pretty good. And they start their thing and I'm like, no.
Yes, but now they have Surface tablets, so they can actually come up to you.
Just got to get good at
and follow you around.
off.
Well, I mean, it's literal. I will literally just say to the person, I'm like, is there a place where I can give you 5 stars? I will give you 5 stars. I cannot be sold.
Yeah.
I cannot be bought.
Yeah. So back to this whole percentage of digital revenue GameStop could potentially engage in here. There are still details that they did not disclose, such as how big of a cut of the revenue they would receive, or if this applies to any Xbox console, or if it just applies to consoles that are purchased through the All Access, subscription.
Well, it doesn't need to be much, because if you look at the GameStop kind of business model, it's based off of selling used games for relatively the same price if it's newer, and then reaping all the rewards from that.
Right.
And I think for the most part, people aren't buying too much physical anymore, and that's the reason that GameStop has been in such a downturn, right? I think the only way to
more toys, yeah.
Right. This might make up that little bit of difference they need to actually be a relatively successful company.
It could be a lifeline.
Yeah.
It depending on how much they stand to reap from the partnership, it actually could help them be sustainable.
Yeah.
Because, they don't have an incentive, GameStop, retailers, Walmart, Target.
No.
They have no incentives to push all digital consoles, which is the way the future is going. Because, like you said, Dylan,
they make their money.
It's not how they make their money. They make their money on physical, and especially used physical for GameStop, or Walmart just selling fucking volume of physical games. So they're not interested at all in selling digital consoles.
But I think the game making companies or like the console making companies, they want that as well. They don't want GameStop to go under, because it's still just another form of revenue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there's a reason to keep it around, even if it is outdated.
Right. Exactly. So, I think this could potentially be a pretty big thing for GameStop. I mean, there's still a lot of unknowns, but...
Let's just say this was Reggie's idea.
You know what? I bet he said, do it. when this is brought up to the board of directors.
And I bet he did the
When did this
kick ass?
get it done.
When
Take their name.
did this deal happen?
Relatively recently, in the last week or so.
I bet it's been in the works for a long time though.
So anybody
Their
at GameStop
stock has jumped up.
I was going to say, if anyone's a GameStop stockholder,
They jumped up from when things got low. It was less than $3 a share. Now it's
I sold mine
14.
now it's almost 14.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's a
I
jump.
sold mine a week ago. Fuck
Get
last
it? Still
month.
get in now, man.
Really?
It's all gone. I put it in my bank account.
It's still low enough.
Oh no, man!
But I thought
I'm
about
not
that too.
reinvesting on that shit. I sold a few of my Nintendo stocks too, like because it's not climbing because there's nothing this holiday season.
So this is something to kind of pay attention to. This could have repercussions, and it might not just be exclusive to GameStop. Other retailers might want to participate in this kind of program too.
Well,
if you're getting a lifetime's cut of all sales.
One of the things that they don't talk about in a lot of these things is which retailers are actually pushing the most consoles, the most like actual like product. And those end up being Walmart and Target by a large margin because they're still not letting most people into Best Buys, from what I understand.
You mean strictly brick and mortar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
people, especially people who have some income, or even the ones who aren't into wearing like masks or social distancing, they want to go into the place to buy it. Mm-hmm. There's that idea. I think this is actually very intelligent for them to kind of work out a system where everyone kind of benefits and they all get a little piece of the pie, even if it's not a huge piece of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really think what they're doing is pretty damn smart.
I think so too. And for Microsoft to kind of put that forth, be like, hey, we'll do this because it has to be like some kind of symbiotic
diplomacy
relationship there.
Let's play ball. Let's figure this out.
Yeah,
I do like that.
There you go. See, it's a business topic. It wasn't too crazy and boring.
No, not at all.
I enjoy discussing this, so it's cool.
Me too. All right, this is our last news topic of the day, sort of. But New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. Uh-huh. Did you see her game stream?
Yeah, I did.
Of Among Us?
I saw highlights. Let's put it out.
Okay. She ended up streaming the game Among Us on Twitch last week, and it kind of broke the internet, and it has become the third most watched stream of all time.
After Drake and
Snooki. Ninja.
Still don't know who Ninja is.
He's what color is his hair now?
Blue. I don't know.
Oh, that's just wild.
So this stream was used as a method to...
he pretends he's playing a sport. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
Can we just say the podcast is anti-ninja?
Anti-ninja? Like... Just the person, because I am pro ninja, like the idea of a ninja assassin.
I mean, there's a lot of
or
really
the
cool
American ninja,
things.
Michael Dudikoff.
No, I meant like the guy ninja who calls himself ninja. If you ask a 12-year-old,
he's a big fan of us.
Ty Blevins, what's his name?
Tyler Blevins. Yeah.
That ninja.
Oh, and he wears a headband too. Wow, what a talented guy!
You don't sweat when you play games.
I sweat.
Yeah,
I sweat doing. Let's be clear,
Joshua.
I sweat doing everything.
Okay,
your hands get clammy.
Oh yeah. I'm a sweaty boy.
I mean, more sweaty as a
that's called putting all my pheromones out in the air, baby.
Oh,
I just got to attract the opposite.
I smelled something.
You yelled the F word.
I felt something in the air. AOC stream was also used as a method to bring the message to vote to a younger audience.
Let's be clear. A message to vote a specific way.
Of course.
Through Twitch, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and it worked. It definitely worked.
I think so.
Well, do you have listed there that the vote.org or whatever, the one that she plugged, got the most viewership it ever got in like probably 5 months?
Yeah, I was
like a day.
I was listening to State of the Union on CNN. She was on this Sunday, and she noted that stream resulted in being the highest driver of traffic to iwillvote.com. In the history of the website. So, I think that the peak number of views for the stream was 440,000. And the video currently has over 5 million views. What do you guys think? I think I think
it's great.
Some people have said this is a game changer of the future of politics. I don't know if it's a seismic change for me, but I do love the fact that it's a great way to reach a younger arm of potential voters who are usually dismissed or neglected.
Do you talk to anyone age 10 to 25, Tom?
Every day on the internet. And they always ask me, are you a cop?
That's weird. I'll ask you about that. I'll ask you about that later. But what I'm saying is that this is just another form of entertainment for like kids. It used to be Let's Plays because you would have to record them beforehand, like the early 2010s. That's what became very popular. Now it's literally just you stream it onto your phone, you watch it, you're paying attention. These
kids are dialed in.
They're personalities, but also I think at the same time, a lot of these, especially democratic ideals, they're becoming like, whether or not people like it, the opposite side is diminishing and this side is only gaining because most people like...
About to get political right now. The views expressed on this podcast may not necessarily...
You brought this topic up, Tom.
I was going to say...
No, this is a... You talk... You
well, I
preach
think,
it.
Let me put it this way. For the most part, the people who are into this type of stuff, especially the younger generation, they have friends who are either gay, transgender, or different, like even if it's like by race, and a part of them, they don't even see it as like a difference, but then they see the opposite side railing against it, and they say to themselves, well, this is the side I want to deal with. Mm-hmm. Let's just say the party dynamics are going to shift, even if they don't on November 3rd. If this is in the future, I think the trend is moving the opposite direction. And I think a part of that is based off of the fact that these people are more willing to deal with younger people.
Right.
And that is the demographic, period. Like, I like AOC. I think she's cool. Like, and I like Ilhan Omar. I like her as well.
She was also on the stream.
Her son was on it, or daughter. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then I watched a bit of that on the stream.
Do you see Ilhan Omar posted her rig, her PC rig?
It's pretty good.
And it was really good.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. I was like, fucking hell. And I got to be honest with you. If you have to like sell yourself to people and be genuine, get on a fucking live stream video game, and then you're gonna show your true colors because for most people you can't fucking hide it.
Yeah. If that's a hobby you're into, why not use it? I mean,
I don't even think they're that particularly into it. I think they chose the right game. It was Among Us.
Yeah, which I haven't played. My girlfriend's played it.
Really?
But I haven't played it, yeah.
Kate?
Yeah.
A lot of people have.
She played it recently.
Does this make us like weird?
We're old. We're out of touch.
Kate's older than me.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
What's happening over here?
Have you played Among Us,
No.
Josh? No. Would you be interested in playing Among Us?
I only know the name. I have not looked into that game.
It looks fun.
I would be interested in playing with the Dogcasters, but for the most part, I'm not a social gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love couch play.
This is definitely not that.
There's not many of those nowadays.
No,
but
I agree.
That's what I grew up with. I love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
Friends and video games.
And beer.
And now there's beer.
And sometimes pizza.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, I mean, like I mentioned too, I think it's great as a tool to reach the younger people, the younger folks, and like, let's be honest, we got two old ass white dudes running for office, so it's hard
the oldest president
ever.
Let us be clear.
Yeah.
And I think this is,
and it's hard for them to relate, and vice versa, to any of that platform or the parties.
Whether or not you believe in one side or the other, this is the dying gasp of an older generation. This is the boomers fading. This is it. And I really do still love saying, okay, boomer, but I respect a lot of my elders as well. And I don't want it to seem like I'm a piece of shit about it, but at the same time, if you've listened to this at any point, you know my politics. Just vote. I don't fucking care who you vote for, man.
Vote for Dylan.
I don't fucking care. I can't be the type of person who's a bitch about it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. You got to do it.
And I'm the only one willing to get political on here because these two are also public personalities to some degree. So
what?
What? No. The views expressed on here are pretty much mine.
No, I mean, I agree. I agree with you. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Sure.
I mean, on most things. That shirt, though, no.
What?
Definitely don't agree. No.
Oh, wow.
I thought it made me more working class.
Oh, honey, no.
Damn it. Oh, honey.
Oh, honey, no.
Hat, dude.
All right. Josh, any thoughts?
Nope.
I know you're not a political guy.
Not at all. Not one single speck. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying more for him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
None at all.
Not a single. I could care less.
You sound very rageful.
I hate politics, and I really hate people that are in that field. They're all very evil, corrupt. I don't trust
would you vote
them.
for
What
me?
happened?
I've always been this way.
Would you vote for me
for
if
the
I
most
ran?
part?
Okay.
You can't trust who's in charge of stuff to make themselves richer. Like it's silly, but
But what if I did it?
Would you vote for Dylan?
That's all. And that's the only thing I care about.
I love
You have to
it.
personally know
That's
the
cool.
candidate.
I love that.
I only want Dylan to run.
Okay.
For things.
It's awesome. Maybe I'll do it.
Rock the vote.
You do it. I'll do it.
Running mates? What?
If you become the mayor of Watertown, yes, I swear to
Don't
God,
listen to this, Emily.
It could happen. Dude, if you ran for mayor of Watertown,
The funny thing is,
landslide.
I've had multiple people tell me
should.
to, and I'm like, no, dude.
You trust bartenders.
campaign
Who else are you going to
for you.
trust?
I was gonna say, like,
You can't trust your bartender.
I'm gonna be real with you,
Man.
and I care about what you drink.
All right, Josh for
I
president.
really do.
2024.
That's really all the people who live there care about too. So it's like it's great.
Not
Yeah.
just there, most places.
Yeah, in Wisconsin especially.
Yeah.
Look at our coronavirus cases.
Mm.
Zing.
Hey, at least we're first in something.
Get through all of it.
Okay. All right.
Looking at
So there you
Brown
go.
County, my home fucking county.
That's been our political minute. I want to say that it has been fucking hilarious to watch some of the mainstream news and journalists try to understand what Twitch is, and just finally be like exposed to that. And most of them saying like, "Yeah, I had to ask my kids what this was." So there you go.
It.
Yeah.
I'm doing the snap thing a lot now. It's kind of my thing.
It's a political.
All right. Well, Josh is pouring this beer. This is the true last story. I just want to give
You said that was last.
This is the true. I said it might be. I'm not lying, but this is more of a statement.
Okay.
We are recording this on the actual birthday of the U.S. release of PlayStation 2. Happy 20 years
Oh yes.
young. I just wanted to call that out because
Hey, acquaintance be forgot.
Every
brand new
time a bell rings,
Yes.
an angel gets its wings.
So yeah, in one sentence, sum up your experience with the PlayStation 2. Say something nice.
I really liked it. I envied it. I was a GameCube boy, and
That's like
I
3
was
sentences.
always jealous of the amount of JRPGs that came out on it. And I wish I could have played most of them.
So you never had one?
No, I never owned one.
Okay. So fuck you, PlayStation.
I wasn't fuck you.
You weren't around
I
for my
was-
childhood.
I said
Now
it
you
at
want me
the
to
time.
wish you a happy birthday?
But I realized it was kind of jealousy, and it was mostly me being like, well, technically the GameCube's more powerful, but it's got Mario too.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right, Josh, how about you?
I bought one at Brookfield Square Mall at, I think it was FYE, and I played it.
Nice.
No, I had Twisted Metal Black came out. I was a huge Twisted Metal 2 fan. And then, funny thing is
Is that when you really became a PlayStation gamer? PS2?
Oh, I love PS1.
Okay.
From the start, when that came out, I was like, I need that. I need that. And I actually remember calling every day to places like stores. This is before I had a license. Like I call stores within an hour radius every day. When it dropped to $200, I'm like, finally, I can afford one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I had money saved up. I didn't spend it. I'm like, that's what I need. I need that. I need to play it. I need all of that.
Awesome.
And eventually, I got one. I don't remember where. Oh, I know where I got my PS1.
Babbage's.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Oh my God.
That was totally random. Just walked in.
Brookfield
They had
Square?
it. I couldn't find it anywhere for like 2 months. I searched.
Mm-hmm.
So PS2 came out. I didn't jump on one right away.
They were impossible to get.
I didn't jump on one right away. And then actually, that was an era where I stopped gaming for like a couple years.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about PS1. I thought you said PS2.
PS2.
You did.
Yep.
But PS2 was the era where I stopped gaming for a couple years, and I forgot what came out. All of a sudden, I went to a friend's house, and
You like Final Fantasy? Give me
yeah.
all that shit.
No,
They're on 12 now?
No.
No, but like all these games are out, like a ton, like it's a huge library.
Right.
And all of a sudden I was playing games at all my friends' houses and I'm like, oh geez, I need to start fucking playing this again.
Yep.
Sure.
And I never stopped since. But
The highest
I just love
selling
the PS2.
console of all time.
I think I still think about how many great games were on it, because this is when people were just chugging them out. Like,
Oh yeah.
this is when it was actually still relatively cheap to make games, and especially like RPGs, like what I was saying before, and like the amount of like just like good like platformers and like really gorgeous games even for their time. Think of like Shadow of the Colossus. Like that system was pushed to its extreme.
Absolutely.
It's a
That was
lovely system.
Definitely the era where games just became like, oh wow, the graphics kind of caught up with gameplay, and
kind of felt like a continuation. Some games felt like a continuation of Dreamcast games, like pick up and play arcadey kind of games.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cheap games that came out for $20 right out the bat, and there were some fun ass games like that.
absolutely.
And just so many. I mean, I loved playing the sports games, NFL 2K5, wrestling games. I was addicted to for a while.
When they were still innovating on how to play them.
There'd be, like,
They're figuring things out.
Some of those games would actually be really good. I remember playing some sports games.
What was that? The Attack of the Monsters or whatever that game was.
Destroy All Humans?
Destroy All Humans.
Destroy All Humans. There was a monster game too. Where like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know. Oh my.
Yep.
Holy shit!
So
we just have a moment.
they remastered that on PS4, by the way. I can't remember the name of it,
Okay.
but it's a cheap download right now.
Right on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's so many.
I still have my
oddball
launch games,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, and there's
SSX baby.
It's fun when you go to like a used game store, like what we have, Mega Media Exchange, and I'll just scroll through and walk by. And you can find sometimes some games you've never heard of, and you just snag them for a couple bucks, and you go home and just play the shit out of them. You're like, oh wow, I didn't know this was a thing.
So it all goes in waves. Apparently,
So
right
many.
now, when I got into Game Boy Advance collecting, everyone else was, and I just wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
It all goes in waves. The nostalgia wave is usually hit 15 years after the start of it.
It's something
So
like
we
that,
were
yeah.
just in the PS2 era. Now it's
Yep. I got one at launch. I paid way too much money for it, and I liked it a lot, man. And
Did you get it second hand then?
I did an eBay where the guy had a confirmed pre-order, and so he shipped it to me. And I remember it's the first time I ever got a delivery on a Sunday.
It was $2.99, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But that's Jesus's day.
$2.99. I think I paid double that at the time.
Fuck.
And I had a shitty ass gas station job, so I was broke.
So you saved
You
up
earned
quite a
it.
bit.
I was broke for a while.
What was the mini wage?
Mini wage? That was
$4.75.
5 something. Let's see. Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. That's about what I got at my job at Piggly Wiggly. Olson's
Fucking
Piggly
Piggly
Wiggly.
Wiggly. Yeah.
Howard, Wisconsin.
Nice. And the last thing I want to say is, being a fan of DVDs when they came out, I want to say thank you, PS2, for being a DVD player and allowing.
That's called a
hell
sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could sell your parents on that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And it prompted all the major retailers to start carrying DVDs pretty quickly after that. So, boom.
That's when I started buying DVDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
If only
crazy.
mini discs.
Full screen though only.
So there you go. That's
Lovely.
That has
My
been
favorite aspect ratio.
all right. That has been the news. Josh, we have one more beer. Why don't we do that and then take a quick break?
We got some local kids, Untitled Art, out of Waunakee, Wisconsin.
Awesome. Also a very awesome brewery.
Yeah, great stuff. They brew at Octopi with Funk Factory. And this is also a collab with Collective Arts Brewing out of O'Canada. And this is the Cotton Candy IPA. Now, note, I hate cotton candy,
Whoa.
but I like this.
Note taken.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, and the other thing, there are a ton of hops in this. Citra, Amarillo, Mosaic, Galaxy, Belmont, and Sabro.
It's like the whole family.
It's a lot of delicious hops.
Do you like the taste of bubblegum though?
I don't chew bubble gum, but I don't mind it.
So
I
this
get
actually
that.
tastes more like bubblegum
Than
than
the
it does
microphone
cotton
one?
candy.
This tastes a lot more like bubblegum than the microphone, the one that tastes like a cheeseburger.
I get that. No, I totally get
One
a
that
bubble
tastes
gum.
like a cheeseburger.
Remember that one? You're on the podcast.
I don't recall.
Or you're like, it tastes like pickles, but I
many
totally
hams.
get the... Yeah, right.
There's hams.
Go back. It was like 3 episodes
Tastes kinda
ago.
like
So
pickles.
I got this because it was very. I don't think there's
There's cheese
lactose in
in
it,
here?
but it's milkshakey, and Tom likes the milkshake.
I do.
IPAs, so I wanted to bring it in.
This is
As
good.
do I.
This is good.
It's a good trend.
A little sweetness with your hops.
Yep. Not gonna drink like 3 of these in a row. That's for sure.
I wouldn't drink
Impossible.
2, but
Right.
I do like this for a drink for right now.
Absolutely. Well, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
All right.
you,
And
Tom.
cheers to you listening. We're going to take a quick break, listen to these cool shows from the Greenlit Podcast Network, and we'll be right back with what we're playing and the topic of the show. Yo, why this game's so scary? We'll workshop it, but
Gamer
all right.
beware,
I think it's
you're
set.
in for
All
a
right.
scare.
Stay tuned.
We'll
See you in a
put this
bit.
one on.
Fans of video games, history, or video game history will definitely want to listen to Retronauts. Each week, Bob Mackey and myself, that's Jeremy Parrish, dive into the stories behind the greatest games of the past and the history behind the hits of today. Check us out every Monday on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Spaceships,
Magic swords,
intergalactic empires,
dead gods,
and creatures from beyond the moon.
what mad universe could contain all these fantastic visions? What Mad Universe is a bi-weekly podcast delving into the misty origins of sci-fi and fantasy, pop culture and genre tropes
Take a cosmic trip on What Mad Universe
on the
podcast.
Greenlit Podcast Network.
All right, we're back, everybody. Hey, it's good to see your smiling faces.
Or you're driving or something and you're
Yeah.
not smiling.
Our
Are you on a commute? Tell us about
You
it.
don't smile when you drive?
Tell us about your
Yeah,
commute.
really scary.
If you're driving, email us right now at hairthedogcast@gmail.com.
If only to scare my fellow
Okay,
drivers.
it's time to talk about what we're playing, gentlemen. If you've been playing anything, Dylan, have you been playing any video games at all?
Oh, have I?
Okay.
I'm the one on here who's the one who does. I've been playing quite a bit. There are a few of them. Obviously, Hades. Which
How many runs have you made?
How many runs?
Yeah, have you made it out of?
Total. I have made it. I have made it out. I have made it out.
Good for you.
I'm seeing around like 45 runs.
Okay,
And the thing about Hades is that when you think you're finished, it's not over.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more to do and to figure out. And
I heard there's a true ending though.
there is a true ending that I have not reached.
Okay,
Okay. I only heard about this after someone told me, though. I thought my ending was the ending. And I'm like, oh, that's great. But I tend to do that with video games. I'm like, oh, I feel kind of done. But
That's right,
And I
Steph.
dropped it. I dropped it for 5 days. And then suddenly I'm like, I kind of got like itchy, like restless leg syndrome. And I was like, oh, man, I kind of got like I was thinking about stuff to do. And I'm like, oh, I could do this again. And I'm like,
Yep.
Okay.
I wish that was a
That's what
physical
it is.
game. I totally borrow that from you. Yeah,
You have to buy it, Tom. I need to talk to someone about it.
I want to play it. I'm waiting for it to come down in price.
It is 19.
It's $24.99 right now. So
Oh my God, Tom.
I'm sorry.
You fucking cheapskate.
Hey,
Thomas,
It is.
I'm on a
it is-
budget.
I'm telling you, it is worth 60. It's a $60 game. Period. When I first bought it, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like another like super giant game where you're literally going through it and it's kind of an experience you have and then it's over. This is not that.
Right.
This is a game that keeps on giving. This is a game you can play for 60 hours plus and still feel invested in.
Love it.
I recommend this to anyone. I don't want to spoil anything, which is why I'm going to save that for my game of the year discussion that we have at the end of it.
It's on a lot of people's lists. It sounds like
It is
a
a
the scuttlebutt
fantastic
online.
It is a fantastic video game. Josh, you would actually like Hades.
I like stuff.
He likes going to hell. He likes
It's an
playing
action.
games
It's an
in
action.
hell.
It's an arcade action game. At its core, the rest is kind of story that is. It's essentially. You can make a choice of whether or not to pay attention.
Some really sexy art.
Yeah, everyone's kind of thirsty.
What else you got, Dylan? What else you playing, man?
Crusader Kings 3,
Okay,
which is awesome.
still hitting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wake up every morning and I'll be like, oh, man, if I had done this, oh, I do have a child of incest that I have to take care of. Oh, and he's a little dumb because of it. Oh, that's weird.
It's got a weird eye.
Yeah. There's a lot of politics going on. It is honestly a good distraction, but something I can't play all the time. Mm-hmm. And then the last one would probably be Monster Train.
Monster
Monster
okay.
Train.
Yeah.
It's something I keep finding myself coming back onto. It's a brilliant video game. I'm a fan of Slay the Spire, but I think Monster Train's a little bit better.
Okay.
If you're talking about because you can get Slay the Spire right now on Xbox Game Pass, and I beat all of Slay the Spire, and I'm talking like the ascended like difficulties and even one for each character. I played through.
What kind of game is Slay the Spire? Is that a roguelike?
It's a card-based roguelike.
That's right.
And that's what Monster Train is as well. I think those are both fantastic games, but Monster Train has a bit more going for it. I talked about it in a previous episode, but it is extremely addictive. There are rewards around every corner, and I just think it's a hell of a time.
Ooh.
Because you're trying to get to the center of hell.
Boom.
Pretty good.
I like puns. They're great.
I like addictive things.
Also, a little bit of Forza 7. But I think that might be one of the things you say. So.
Well, maybe. It could be. I have things to say.
I don't want to drag on and on because I am the one who plays most of the games. I'm the least busy. I used to have a full-time job. It's part-time now.
Well, thank you, because otherwise this podcast would just be about beer.
I literally have to move right through it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Josh, did you see that DLC came out for Doom Eternal?
I did. And I wanted to play it.
Did you pick it up?
I have not. I have heard it's been called the Dark Souls hard for Doom.
I did hear that too. Like they just
which
fucking
is kind of a turn off for
word.
me.
I hate that word.
How do you know?
It means
Is
it's
is
loaded.
Dark Souls a hard game?
Dark Souls is not a hard game.
Okay,
It's It's a game where you learn how to do it better.
I hear from a lot
It's
of
not a
people.
walk in the park.
I hear from a lot of people it's one of the hardest games.
That's for people who are expecting to get through anything on the first try.
Yeah, it's a different kind. It's a different kind of game, but it's not easy.
If Dark Souls existed like 10 years earlier than when it did, people wouldn't be calling it that hard.
Anyways,
Yeah, whatever. It's
All right.
supposed to be hard.
yeah,
A lot of, I guess, gigantic waves and crazy platforming. And platforming is sometimes okay, sometimes really, really, really tough.
Right. Yeah.
Like 3/4 of the way, there was a play.
like tough good or
No,
Tough, like
not good.
really annoying. It's like,
Really?
okay, that's
really
some
annoying.
really precise, the speed burst thingy mechanism you do.
Yep. There's like a dash.
Yeah, I like that, and I like some of the platforming, but some of it's not. I mean, you want it to be easy, but I'll say some of it's hard.
Yeah,
And
it's okay to say that.
Some of it's like you're really getting in that crevice of a window,
yeah.
and that's
I know what you're talking
when you're
about.
spending a half an hour
I
doing
know,
that, and
yeah.
you just want to rip and tear.
Yeah, not jumping.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
like
jumping flash.
The first one didn't really have that many platforming sections.
No.
Not really.
And I think for the most part, platforming is the dumbest design decision you can make in a first-person shooter because you're not seeing your shadow or where your feet are landing.
Mm-hmm.
If only for that reason, I find it to be incredibly stupid. I like when you dash and then you click in on one of the thumbsticks to grab onto a wall. I was appreciative of that, but there were so many sections where I was like, why am I not killing demons?
Yeah.
I agree. I think there's a little too much of it, or at least don't make it as. I mean, I get the difficulty is a thing that they might be trying to go for, but
I think they were trying to give a challenge to people who really were going to love this game. And I know you did.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
But I think at the same time, like, I think they were trying to cater to a specific audience, and I don't know if they even achieved that because I don't hear people talking about Doom Eternal the way they talked about the original Doom.
That's true. Yeah.
Because that was for its time when original 2016 Doom came out. Like that was.
Oh,
That's pretty
so
mind blowing.
killer.
Yeah, it was
and
like
also
oh,
a surprise.
wow, welcome
Yeah,
back.
surprise to a lot of people.
It was a
Welcome.
huge surprise.
Yeah.
like first person shooter. Holy shit! It's 2016 at the time. It's like
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knew
okay.
a first-person shooter could be better? Like,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's true.
I do. I mean, I totally think that I think they're just trying something more to add to the game, but I think they didn't do it in the best fashion.
I liked here's the thing.
Sometimes I did like it.
Well, I liked the opening few hours, especially when you were on Earth and you kind of had to like stop an invasion of Earth. You didn't stop the whole thing, but the thing that made the first one really cool is that it was kind of a subversion of video games. where it basically was like, if you don't want to learn the lore, you don't fucking have to. Who gives a shit?
Yep.
Punch the wall, do whatever you have to. Just kill.
Rip the intercom off the wall. Yeah.
Right. But in this one, they have fucking cutscenes, and immediately I was turned off. Like, there were cutscenes where the Doom guy walks in, and he's kind of got like a Master Chief stance, and I'm just like, man, this is not what I'm here for. You already gave me a slice of this pie.
There's a little doses of that in the 16 game.
I know, but at the same time, like,
there's
they
a lot
were
of
so
that.
few and far between.
Does it break first person then?
It
so
does.
you see your Doom guy in the third person?
I don't mind
You
that.
even see his face.
You should
you see
never
his face.
see Doom guy's face.
Well, you see it through the visor, which is weird.
I don't think you see it like with
helmet
like,
off.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it might as well just
the
be
Metroid
Mr.
Prime
Marine.
Samus
But
face.
they show other Marine guys, like they show that, it gives them some human feel.
Those
You're
are
like,
great enemies too, and I like and for me, like, Doom Eternal is great because every enemy is kind of a puzzle. They really do create a scenario where you have to be switching in between, and you have to know how to manage it. You can't just use one gun ever.
I really enjoy that. And at first, sometimes, you don't get used, or it takes a bit to get used to. But once you get in the flow of things, it's like, I'm just going to bash all 1,000 of these guys in this quick, cute baddies.
Do you know, is this story based or is it like challenge based? This new
the story's bland. It's not meant to be huge, bigly
this Dark
story.
Souls
It's
style.
not meant to be a bigly story.
Who's not
Pikachu.
political now, motherfucker.
And the first 16 game had a lot of like elbow checks to your hey, haha, like funny like moments, like cheek and like I don't know, like
tongue in cheek.
lots of nods, like, hey, this is fun. This isn't too serious, but let's kill all these super satanic demon folk.
Yeah.
And, even like, the first one, like, what is it, talking in the background throughout the buildings and stuff. And there's a lot of, that continues in the new one too. I mean, like a lot of
all the silly shit
sarcasm
coming
and,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's not like a huge story. It's like, this is the guy. Yeah,
hey, if you're going to Doom for a fucking story, I'm sorry.
I mean, it has some story. Like, you got to kill the 3 priests and kill all the other guys. It's like, kill them all.
Kill.
Or metal up your ass.
Yeah, or kiss them to death.
Boom.
You can do that too.
Have you been playing anything else, Josh?
Rocket League, I got back into. I mentioned I platinum trophied it.
Shit.
It's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
How many is it?
I have no idea, dude. I don't know if there's a way to find out. I guess
there
I've
is.
looked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hours just hanging out with my friends who were couch playing it, and I didn't play it for a while.
You never asked me to play with
Played
you.
it a few times at the Drafty Cellar. We have a PlayStation there, and
Because you're not good at sports.
That's true.
you never hit a soccer ball with your car before.
No.
Same thing.
And you've got a big like Jeep now, so
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, Rocket League's fun. It's easy to pick up and play, and right now they have that Haunted Hollows Ghostbusters style game and all these little unlockable Ghostbuster things. But the thing that sucks is since I played it back in 2016, when I was unlocking, I was looking at the trophy thing after I unlocked the platinum. I'm like, oh, that's when I was really binging it. And it wasn't as, all the sports games do it. Nickel and Diamond.
Oh, microtransactions?
Thank you.
There we go.
That's the tip of my brain. Yeah, microtransaction crazy. When I used to go in the PlayStation store sometimes and see like, oh, buy the DeLorean for $1.99.
Yep.
Buy the Batmobile for $2.99 with all these other cars. Now it's like, oh, buy Ecto 1. Give me $10.
Jesus.
Fuck you for one DLC, and
a
then
little too steep.
oh, when there's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that comes out of the goal all like on fire, which is really cool.
Too hot
when
to
I
handle.
first saw that, I grabbed my midsection a little bit. I was like, oh, geez, I need that. Oh well, you got to pay me $10 to have just that. It's like, fuck you.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm binging it during
epic.
this Ghostbuster thing, taking all the free achievements. And there's some fun stuff that you get for free, so I can appreciate that. But they really
Still,
got the
though.
microtransaction going crazy.
Yeah, man.
Join the Rocket League club, and then you can get these achievements too. Yeah, the club. No, I don't know what it's called.
I will not.
If like even when I went into Doom Eternal for the first time on the Xbox Game Pass, it was just like sign into Bethesda.net. I'm like, no.
Yep.
I was really like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like I am not signing up for another fucking thing. My life is so full
EA
of this.
Play. Yeah.
How are you supposed to remember all these passwords, first of all?
No shit.
Or usernames. Do I have to get a book for it? Kind of ruins the point of owning a computer that does anything.
You have to pay for
Can't
the
there
extra
just be
book.
a universal? Can't you just make this shit universal?
That's hackable.
I mean, you can. Use the
You're
same
a
password
hack.
for yeah.
Thank you.
Same password for
I
everything.
knew it.
Right. Play 2K games, same thing. Play, there's other ones who do the same thing.
Right. And
Join our secret membership.
for me, it's the biggest corporate
Sucks.
horseshit
Modern
on the face of
gaming.
the planet.
Yeah, the recent story where the latest NBA 2K game, they accidentally put unskippable commercials in the game.
I've heard about that.
Yeah,
What?
that you
Just-
paid $60 for.
$60, yeah, yeah, this is literally them testing the waters. They know the blowback isn't going to matter because most people are going to be like, that sucked. Oh, they got rid of it. Now it's cool.
Right. Well, I think the game's going to go free to play pretty soon. It sounds like. I mean, if they're going to start
Then what's the point of
implementing,
buying it right away.
or maybe not.
All the other people are going to be really mad they bought it.
Really mad. Josh, anything else for you, my friend?
Nah, just a bunch of a gigantic stack of games I need to dig into. And now we got colder seasons coming up. I'm not going to be doing any outside activity because I choose not to.
Good job.
In shitty weather seasons. So, video games.
Proud of you.
I'm coming for you.
Give it this
Hilarious.
fucking stab that fucking stack, fucking
Spearhead.
like a bunch of pancakes.
Which
Like
one are you going to go at first?
I do want to get through all the levels of Tony Hawk 1 and 2, but God of War, I got to get into that one. I got to start that.
You
I
do.
do too.
I have a few tidbit games that clearly aren't going to be too long. I want to get back in Streets of Rage 4.
Oh yeah.
Binge that a little bit.
That's a wonderful game.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, yeah, I know. There's a
concur.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot to play, and Godspeed.
Thanks. I don't need a new console because I have a bunch of games already.
As it turns out, they just keep delaying. All
Hey,
the
and
ones.
even if you do have a new console, you'll be playing all the shit that's already available for the old consoles anyway. So it's
Some
fun.
people
Right?
want to play in 4K. I say 4.
I'm more of a 4.5K.
Yeah, I've been
Ready for
playing
the
a
next.
shitload of Neo Geo.
Really? Still?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
On the last Dogcast.
Not 3DO.
Oh yeah, no, never mind.
Yeah, no,
Being so
Neo Geo,
stupid.
man. Yeah, in the last
We
episode,
binged the whole catalog the other night. That was fun.
That was
I-
great. That was a great.
the day we recorded the last episode, I had just gotten this flash cart for the Neo Geo, and it allowed me to put all my games on the cartridge and play it on the actual hardware. And I'm just having a blast playing through a game a
Does
night.
it emulate well?
It's like almost perfect. I mean, you're playing on the actual hardware.
Oh, okay.
So like, you
Well,
know.
I'm saying, did you play the Neo Geo stuff that's worth a shit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going through the library. One thing I did find out after the fact, I didn't know, it actually can play the Neo Geo CD games as well on the cartridge. And
Party.
there's been a few that were only released on CD, so I'm like, oh my god, this is great. The only bad part is the one I really want to play is Samurai Showdown RPG, and that only came out
There's
in Japan.
an RPG. of
Yeah.
this?
Samurai Showdown.
You're gonna have to learn Nipponese.
It's all in Nipponese. Yeah, so
I played Samurai Showdown the other recently, last month or something on PS4.
Oh, really?
the newest one.
No,
It's really good.
I do want to play that one.
Oh, the old one.
The original.
Yep.
It's a cheap download.
I could talk to you about
That
the new
game's
one.
hard, man.
It's hard. It's hard as shit.
I remember playing.
That's quite cool.
I remember getting through quite a bit when I was a kid and rented it on the Super Nintendo.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a Super Nintendo version, which wasn't that great. I had a 3DO version, which was pretty close, but it's still, in retrospect,
Yeah.
wasn't
It was
great.
3DO.
So,
It was really cool, but man, it was
Dude.
not the best.
yeah, so playing a lot of Neo Geo, and I went back to a game called Disco Elysium that I had started.
Wonderful video game.
It just turned 1, and for some reason it was on my mind, and I'm like, I want to go back and play this, because when I first started it last year when it came out, I started it. I'm like, this is a great game. It's not what I want to play right now. So I just kind of shelved it a little bit. But now I went back to it, and I'm just having a fucking great time with it. It's like
What are you specializing in?
CRPG. I am, as far as what
I mean, like there's like
what
are you putting your stats into? Yeah.
Intellect this time.
Intellect, Bill, because it's better for your. Here's the thing: your buddy, he actually picks up most of that, even if you don't.
Okay, yeah.
Mine was always more intuition and physical, so my guy is a big dumb idiot.
That's the way my first roll when I first played it.
Yeah.
But he was almost too stupid. Where
He
I'm
was
like,
very stupid.
Where I'm like,
you're stupid when you wake up to begin with, anyway.
yes. I think if you're into CRPGs of kind of like the days of old, it's kind of a CRPG / adventure game. A lot of dialogue. Get ready to read a lot. That was like one of the things that I had to reorient my brain to. Yep. I've got spoiled with voice acting all these years, even though I used to play all these fucking CRPG heavy text games, and now I got my brain like reacquainted with that, and it's just it's great. Please play it. It's just got a vibe all of its own. No other game has that. Just the swagger of this game. It's fucked up. The other game I've been playing quite a bit of is what we were talking about before, and that was Mario Kart Live, the actual physical Mario Kart game.
Home circuit.
Dude,
That's
it
right.
looks awesome.
I have my little track set up.
You actually have it like set?
Kinda. If we play it after the podcast, I'll have to rerun the track because
That's okay.
I move stuff around. So, anyways, I had pros and cons written down here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go Google this. This is the thing that was announced at a Nintendo Direct for the Mario anniversary month and a half ago.
I see some of the gates right here.
Yep. For pros, the AR tech is really good. It's because you're staring at your Switch screen the whole time as you're racing around. Your cart has a little camera on it, and I've been playing as Mario. And the tracks that are available mostly seem like they're existing tracks from the game. You design the layout yourself, but if you're playing like Rainbow Road, then the system tries to transpose, like a translucent rainbow on the
If
track.
you're playing like an ice track, it'll maybe like look more icy.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. I really think like people who have like me, I'm a Ninja Turtle collector, Ghostbuster collector. I have a ton of toys.
Yeah.
You can make some pretty badass themed stages, levels.
Yeah, that's
maps.
actually like if I like here's the thing I've always said about this specifically. If I were a 12-year-old kid, this would have been the entirety of my life. Like, literally, I would have been playing it alone, but I still would have been like, but then I gotta do this, and I gotta put like a ledge here, and maybe rocks can fall on, but not real rocks.
And it's still a lot of fun to play. It's still a good amount of fun to play on your own. The cart controls really well. The on-screen representation of the cart, because it's kind of replaced by a digital, Mario or Luigi, like an actual Mario Kart game. It's the right proportion. So like if you're digital, if you're looking at your digital Mario and your wheel hits the side of a fucking cupboard or something, chances are your cart just hit the side of the cupboard, and Mario will react and go like, woo!
I wasn't sold on this until I saw people reviewing it.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sold on it because I literally said to myself, I'm like, oh my God, another one of these types of shit.
Yeah.
Because literally when I was...
This one's just clever enough.
In the early 2000s, they actually, like at like Radio Shack and stuff like that, they had Mario Kart themed RC cars.
Yeah, they still sell.
But they were high quality.
Sure.
And I had two of them. I had a Bowser and I had a Wario.
Yep.
Because I've always liked the villains. That's who I am.
That's definitely who you are.
Yes. But like I would play with them, and I'd play with them alone. I was a very sad child, but like what's
no comment.
What's cool about this is that it literally gives you like an actual experience. It gives you a goal to go towards, and also you could play this alone.
Yes, and I have. That's the only way I've played it so far.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to
This will be so much fun. I'm so excited to give an impression.
Yes.
This time.
One of the other things that I think is really cool is like the power-ups and the debuffs that you get while you're racing around will affect the physical cart. So, for example, there's one level where the wind is constantly blowing a direction. So the wind your cart will actually veer off.
Really?
You know, there's another. I don't know if it's a power up or if it's actually a bit of a debuff or a power up, both, where you get a chain chomp that attaches itself to the front of your cart, and it will it'll mad dash like like you're trying to trail like a big Saint Bernard, like running down the street. So your cart will go
literally
off.
the actual RC cart limits itself speed wise in order to have the ability to have, say if you have like a boost mushroom,
yes,
you use it and then you can actually just go faster.
When you first start the game, you only have 50 cc.
You have to unlock, right?
So you have to unlock it up to 200. So your car only goes like kind of slow.
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's also got to be like you have to limit the speed so that when you use a power up item, it actually can go fast.
Yep.
Okay,
and
that's what I was curious.
I raced around. I finally unlocked the 200, and it's pretty tough to it goes pretty quick. So
you're tired of facing the Koopa kids?
I am tired of fucking facing the Koopa kids. Just quickly, some of the cons of it is the wireless distance is kind of disappointing. I was under the impression that it was going to communicate with my Wi-Fi. So I've got cement floors in my entire apartment. So before I got this thing, I had track layouts in my head all set up. I'm like, I'm going to go in this room and it's going to come out here and go under this thing and it's going to come in the living room, only to find out that you have to stay within 3 meters of your cart before you start experiencing connectivity issues because it connects to the Wi-Fi of the Switch.
So we're talking about literally
So
you have to be
console part,
almost 10 feet.
The Switch in your hand.
The Switch in your hands, or wherever the Switch is located.
So you got to follow it around a little.
That work?
I mean, I'll sit in the middle.
You're probably not allowed to move, are you?
Well, if you sat in the middle, it would cover the distance.
You'd also step in it accidentally.
Yeah. So I mean,
I can see why. But
yeah, there'd probably be a little bit of lag. I'm hoping further iterations, or maybe there'll be some kind of homebrew hacks.
Mario Kart Pro.
Yeah, because I would love to be able to. You can't go through walls or at all.
That's when Donkey Kong comes out.
I keep saying, man, if they get a Wario one, I'll buy it the first day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure
I see more characters.
There'll definitely be some. I'm pretty sure.
Do you think these gates that they made, it's additional cardboard they had from the Labo?
Probably, and that was my next con. Is it comes with four cardboard gates, and they're cardboard, so they're kind of easy to run into every once in a while, especially if you have one of those chain chomps on front of your cart. It just will veer right into the fucking gate, and you'll have to move it, and so you have to weight them down pretty heavily, and they're cardboard. They're kind of cheap.
They're really cute. I like them.
They are, but I think they're gonna lend themselves to like an aftermarket kind of thing where people make some sturdy.
I think Nintendo's literally just gonna offer packs. That you
Mad
can buy
Cat's
online.
Premium.
Yeah. They allow it where you can actually download the AR decals on them, so you can put them on things.
Oh.
Yeah, so
And that's a fair solution.
Yep. And then finally, you're just really racing against the Koopa kids. So.
All in their clown carts.
All in the clown carts.
That's what I saw.
Even Morton Koopa Jr.'s there, god damn it.
You don't like Morton, huh? Who's your favorite Koopa kid?
Ludwig von Koopa.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I love his dumb hair.
Yeah. So that was Mario Kart Live.
Can't wait to play it.
Yeah. I would say if you have a Switch, it's fun. Go get it. And if you have the floor space to do it.
If you want to buy it off of Tom.
Yes, I have 2 extras. Going up in eBay probably. So, yeah. And then Forza Motorsport 7. And Dylan's Drivatar is a fucking asshole.
Dude, your Drivatar is a literal thorn in my side. And every time I'm like, as long as I beat Tom, I don't fucking care.
You are usually always the guy that I have to pass in your first place.
I think it's literally, I think there's a reason for
Just
that.
takes your friends.
It takes your friends and makes them the hardest.
Sure, yeah.
I think, but they're the ones who get ahead the furthest. But I'm whooping your ass. Usually I can whoop your ass now, though.
Yeah.
I don't follow the rules, though. I'm not a good, driver. There's a part of me that wants to get a wheel for this and a pedal. I just don't think it's not feasible, and also I technically don't own the game. It's on Xbox Game Pass, so it's gonna go away. I actually probably not because it's a
first
Microsoft
party. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm just not willing to be I'm not gonna get into this that hard.
It's really pretty. The last full Forza Motorsport I played was I think 5, the one that launched. So it's nice to see like the updated tracks of in 5 in the 7 now that's all in 4K. And
well, I'm just curious to see whether or not it uses the cars I used in my game.
Oh yeah,
in yours.
I wonder. Good question.
Because I bought different cars, and if they're not on there, I'll be like, well, fuck, you weren't really finishing me.
Probably not. But and that's pretty much what I've been playing. So before we get to the topic, Josh, you just poured another beer. Why don't you take us to Beerland, buddy?
My last beer of the night, till I get home. 450 North Brewing out of Indiana. Stinky, Indiana.
Ooh.
Home of Mother
Terre
and
Haute.
Mike Pence.
Yes, Mother.
Ooh.
Yes, Mother.
Yeah, this is
and the Fly.
These guys are very known for their smoothie, slushy style fruit beers. They're over fruited. But yeah, this
is there such a thing
pineapple
as
upside
over
down
fruited?
cake. Slushy XL.
This is good.
Smoothie style Berliner Weiss with pineapple, sweet cherry, brown sugar, and lactose. It's actually not as sour as I thought it'd be.
No.
But it's
Nope,
dessert.
it's just tart enough.
Have some dessert, guys.
Yep. It's
this
good.
This is truly, absolutely, in terms of like this style, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it a lot.
These guys are one of the first, I believe, that were in that whole game. So them, The Answer.
Yeah. Name it. What's the name of the brewery again from Indiana?
450 North.
450 North. Oh yeah,
Minneapolis,
They're pretty big. People that find out about them that get obsessed with the fruited sours, they chase that shit down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Well, yeah, this is very refreshing.
Yeah.
These have all been pretty good, man. Actually, really good, I would say. Average.
I think Brad's
Cheers,
missing out,
mate.
but so.
Sorry, Brad's on assignment. He'll
I
be
got
back.
more beer to share.
Yeah, we'll save some. Maybe. I still got a lot from.
We got tons of.
I got lots of Miller 64.
Oh,
So much.
Get some
Dylan
Bud
Wall.
Ice.
That's fine.
All right, let's get into the topic quick here. And as we mentioned earlier, our topic is we're going to talk about games that weren't supposed to be scary, but ended up scaring the shit out of us anyways, or had maybe a moment within the game that might have scared us, or something like that.
Something like
that.
A
You know what I'm
thing.
saying?
A thing like that.
Or even just like games that like made us like crap our pants, like when we were children.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can start it off.
Please do.
Okay.
Well,
So, literally take us back to 10-year-old Tom playing Super Mario Brothers 2.
oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The Shadowland.
The
beyond
frog guy.
The Turnip Gate.
No, I'm talking about the Fanto. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the name of the thing.
Okay, there's an enemy in Super Mario Brothers 2 or Doki Doki Panic. A lot of people don't realize that Super Mario Brothers 2 is actually a game called... No, fuck off. There is it looks like a little phantom mask, and you have to collect a key to open a door. And you have to dig yourself down to the bottom and grab the key and then, jump up.
Sometimes kind of hard.
Yeah. And this phantom mask would all of a sudden come to life the second you hit the key, and it would just do this weird, crazy pattern. And for some reason, it just had a smile on its face. It was really scary.
And stares straight at you.
It was scary to me as a child. And it still is now, too. I still get kind of, when I see that.
Really?
When you turn off the lights, you see the mask.
It's a scary mask. I mean, now it's like something you would see in like Eyes Wide Shut, but.
It's kind of a Harlequin style mask where it's kind of clownish. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, for some reason it just, I don't know. It made me feel unsettled, and I'm not ashamed to admit it at all.
I mean, it makes sense. There's something weird, especially that game is truly not a Mario game at the end of the day when you really...
But it is.
It is. It's got the name attached to it. But what I've always told people is it's not in the style. It is a completely different departure. And
I like
think,
it.
I don't think it makes it bad by any degree.
Yeah, you will not talk shit about it, Dylan.
Clearly, I can't hear. And if Matt's listening, sorry, bro. But like, for me, it's just like, well, okay, like everything is kind of obtuse. It's not as intuitive. Like, because I grew up with these when I was a little bit older, and it's just like when I had to judge them in retrospect, it wasn't a matter of me being like, oh, this is just another NES Mario game. I'm like, this is not Mario.
Okay. It's weird. Yeah, every time the game's on a compilation, that's the one I will go to first because I think I just have a lot of fun memories.
It's the only good one in All-Stars.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, let's go next. Dylan, let's just go round robin.
There's a shark in Banjo-Kazooie.
A
shark?
Okay.
Same.
In this Pirate Cove area. Can't remember his name. Mm-hmm. I could have looked it up, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Because I literally did not want to. It's not that you can get afraid. There's a huge area of water in this game, and it surrounds a mountain. But through the mountain, there's this kind of like trench area where the shark can appear as well. Now, the shark isn't swimming around. You can't see it. But the moment you hit water, you hear the music start to play. And then it's coming up right behind you. Yes. And it's coming up right behind you, and it's faster than you. Dude. No matter what.
Yeah.
So you'll always get either hit by it or something like that. And so it actually made like the sections where you had to fly above it that much more difficult, or the ones where you had to like ground pound out of it. And I remember just crapping my... I was playing it at my cousin's house. I was just like, no, this is not for me. I cannot handle this. That was it. Have you ever played Banjo-Kazooie?
No, I'm not. I wasn't into the collectathon games.
Listen, those games they hold up today.
Do they?
They are completely stellar. You can get them for free, obviously. But
yeah.
I know a lot of people say that Banjo-Kazooie is their favorite 64 game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And there is a reason for that. Another one that I actually have right off the top of my head is the piano with teeth from Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I don't.
Like the Boo's Haunted House thing?
Yeah, I remember the haunted
thing
house.
just tries to like chomp you right afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to Google a picture, but yeah.
In my little boy brain, I just completely attached to that as imagery. I'm like, it is kind of like a mouth. Like, holy shit.
Those are teeth.
I'm like, there could be teeth under there. Not just strings.
Right. Holy shit, man. Yeah. So the Mario series so far is the most scary series.
I mean, if you're talking about collectathons in general, those would be the two.
Yeah. Not bad.
I don't have anything.
Josh
never.
Of anything.
You were never scared?
In some scary games.
Well, why don't you give us one of those?
Yeah. Give us a scary game.
Let's go PS1.
PS1.
I loved horror movies my whole life. I liked the cheesy ones, the slashers. Actually, that's what I've been doing more. The little sexy doesn't hurt, guys.
No, it checks out.
Yeah, I didn't expect to actually be kind of a little creeped, but like I will say, playing Resident Evil, the original director's cut, and
director's cut, very
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Both of those PS1s, like they're starting to get a few horror games put out there more that were actually really horror-esque.
Hell yeah!
And like they were a little slower of a game, and like.
Yep.
I remember seeing the original scene of the zombie eating the blood and like looking back.
When he looks back,
and he has those eyes. He has those eyes.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that's really well done, but like, it's fucking creepy.
Was
For
there
a PS1?
Was there a specific moment that you remember where you're like,
that might have been it, but like I remember Silent Hill. It took forever to get anything to happen.
That was a slow burn.
And the fact that it was slow, and then you finally saw something like, I don't know, I don't even remember.
Is that
anymore.
something? What's the fuck?
Was there a ghost in this room? Or like little ghost children or something? Like, it's creepy. Like
the only thing I can remember
but it took forever to get to anything like that.
The only thing I can remember from Silent Hill is I had the volume all the way down, and I had it in my little basement area, and I was like, I don't want my mom to know I'm playing this. I borrowed it from someone. And then I would be playing it, and it would be like, because that game was it was a graphic powerhouse at the time.
Yeah.
So like you could hear your like disc
spinning. Yes. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
For
absolutely.
sure.
But like, those games are some of the first I recall like actually being like, wow, these are well done. And like I'm a little creeped out.
First time I ever jumped at a video game, Resident Evil 1, PlayStation, and when the dog jumps through the window.
That's everyone.
Jump scare.
Like the first ever, and like really, where I'm like, oh my god.
But that's also kind of like that's like a thing, like something like especially at the time, something being introduced to a scene in that specific way
Yeah.
through gameplay, completely revolutionary
Yep.
at the time.
Or you see the cutscene when the hunters are introduced, and you just see like the hands in front of them, and they're like racing back to you to the mansion. Yeah, crazy shit.
I will say
man.
actually because the graphics aren't pretty, that also made it kind of more scary.
Yeah, and the controls.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you don't like tank controls?
Yeah, right.
I am a tank, baby.
So
That's what I hear.
Since this is a podcast, I am obligated to bring up a Sierra game, and I'm going to go with Gabriel Knight's Sins of the Father.
I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Okay. So this is a 1993 adventure game set in New Orleans. All right.
Night with a K.
Night with a K. Yeah. He's the Schottenjäger. You
The shot and
Shit,
Jaeger.
who?
You've never played Gabriel
I've
Knight?
had a Jaeger shot.
All right. They did the remake. All right, Dylan. They made a remake of this game
Gabriel
in
Knight.
2014, and it's on Steam, and it's an adventure game, and you
How
should
much
play
does
it.
it cost? I'll be looking this up while you explain.
Anyways, so you eventually start unraveling a plot that revolves around murder and voodoo rituals, you know, being down in New Orleans or whatever. And yeah, so as you start learning about like some of the tenets of voodoo, things start getting progressively dark, and there's just like this wonderful but genuinely like unsettling vibe that permeates the game, and it's hard to describe, but it just makes everything genuinely fucking creepy. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you know, the game's set in an actual, you know, city, and, you know, a lot of the background of the voodoo is the voodoo aspect is also based in reality and, you know, voodoo teachings and kind of like, I don't know, what would you say, the lore, the history of voodoo. And I think
Which is essentially a combination of ancient African tradition with Catholicism.
yeah, and it's so good. I love it. One of my favorite adventure games of all time, and is a testament of the game's writing, but definitely one that it bridges the line of they wanted to go for the creepy vibe, but it stung me to my soul in a good way. I love this.
So I think a lot of what these games achieve, especially the ones we're talking about, when something isn't technically meant to be scary, but then ends up becoming that. I think a lot of it has to do with atmosphere, which is mostly like lighting and sound. If you really have to go towards it that way, it's like the mystery can end up being the lighting, like literally what can you not see, and then it's also the sound, which is the building of tension, which we're programmed to deal with based off of our knowledge of movies, essentially.
I think the last one I'll talk about has all those elements, which add up to a creepy experience. Dylan.
Metroid Fusion.
Metroid Fusion.
I got it. I was 12. The SAX, the weird clone monster version of Samus, when it chases you and you have to actually escape it.
Okay.
Or fight it.
Okay.
And you have to run away from it and then use your abilities because you're not yet strong enough to
One of
face
those
it.
enemies, yes.
Well, I mean, like, and it rolls after you. There's a screenshot where it's Samus's old armor, because you've got this new fusion armor, and then it turns around and it looks at you, and it's got these scary, like, glowing, like, football shaped eyes that actually kind of, I was like, oh fuck, they're not screwing around. And that was one of my first Metroid games too. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. I love it. It was story heavy. There was this building of tension that you had in the elevators when Samus was telling the story of her old commander. I was just like, oh shit, this is actually fucking awesome. I do love that game. It's kind of the dark horse of the series, along with Other M.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's a dark horse that I think that's actually good. Other M, not so. It has okay.
Yeah, Other M is a little. I played maybe 5 minutes of it before I was like,
it's chatty Samus
I saw
for
that
sure.
Prime trilogy spiked in value.
Yeah, it did.
For the Wii.
Yeah, I have
I own it, baby, too.
Do you?
Selling it.
It's sexy. It's sexy. I kind of.
Can you play that on a Wii U?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah, the last time I played it was on Wii U.
To be completely honest with you, and this is a theory. This is maybe from it's not a news segment, but I will say this: if Metroid Prime 4 was further in development and they had something to show, their remaster of that would have already been available.
Yeah, it is coming. It will happen.
Because if they've done what they've done for Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like literally, that is the only thing you have to adapt.
And
then you've got it.
They might totally cough up on that new Metroid deal and just do that and be like, yeah.
I'm imagining next year, mid-year, if they don't have anything to show for the first quarter or second quarter, they'll just release it.
They'll release it, especially to drum up once they have a firmer date of 5 or 4 or whatever. But it'll definitely come before 4. You've heard it here. Well, we're all in agreement.
Well, it was one of my predictions that they would have released this year.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting 3D All Stars. Actually, I think I did.
Maybe
we'll see. Once
also very scary. The scary Mario in Sunshine, very scary.
Remember how good Mario 64 was? It was a lie.
That's right. Josh, any more scary moments?
Did you ever poop your pants?
All the time.
Okay,
I eat a lot
here's
of
the
food.
question.
It's got to come out somehow.
When was the last time you shat your pants?
Man, yesterday.
And meant it.
Yesterday.
Just a little tiny squirt.
I do it every time. When I fart,
it's.
I don't want to admit it, but
I understand.
Probably a few chunky monkeys
you have to share
that
with
come
the
out,
world.
but it's microscopic, but it counts.
As long as you wash your pants, it doesn't matter.
Dude,
I'm
laundry's
scared.
happening right now while I'm here. It's in the dryer.
And your girl's just like, it smells like shit in here.
Friday the 13th on the NES. Yes, it's based on a horror movie, but that soundtrack, like, ding, 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 ding,
They didn't have the.
No, it's got its own music. It's got its own soundtrack.
Yeah,
and
it's really bad.
I played it. I rented it.
It's a horrible game. But like
LJN.
Yeah, play it. But man, like I was really little.
Sure.
But like every time Jason popped out or like a kid dies, like it's eerie and it's actually the music is fucking awesome, I think.
Sure.
But
I've heard that.
Yeah,
and
so
our friend Jeffrey Wittenhagen said he taught like a 10-year-old. He was teaching 10-year-old kids how to beat Friday the 13th at conventions.
Shit, I wouldn't even have the attention span for that.
I wouldn't either. But no, that's a good one. And if you bring up another LJN fucking game on this podcast ever again, you're out of here, man. Just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna go with my final pick.
2 against 1, bud.
I'm gonna go with my final pick here. Also staying in the 90s because I'm old as fuck. Thief the Dark Project. I'm a huge fan of the Thief trilogy, as people know, or if you've listened before, maybe you've heard me say that. The first Thief game had a genuinely, like, intentionally scary level. Called,
it's the mine area where you start out in the mines where there are like zombies.
Yeah, it's like the haunted cathedral.
Oh, that one's nuts.
Yeah, but that's not the one.
I played those recently.
Butts and nuts.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about. Like, I always thought the final level of that game was just particularly creepy because you have to sneak up and like stealthily like replace this item from the devil, essentially the trickster. It's a god, and I just thought it was creepy as fuck because this crude polygonal like devil is just walking around this pentagram, just spouting shit and saying shit, and just like the like what you said, Dylan, before, like the combination of the lighting and the sound. The Thief was one of the first games that actually made you like rely on sound, because it was one of the first ones that actually like supported surround or kind of surround sound. I know I bought a sound card,
double stereo,
one in front, one back. I bought a special card for that game, and so the sound was
back when you had to buy sound cards.
Back when I had to buy a fucking diamond, it was a diamond sound card and a Cambridge Soundworks speaker system. Anyways, I really, there's something with that last level has always stuck with me. It has always been creepy. If you're in the market, YouTube it and show me how wrong I am, because now when you look at it, you're like, oh my God.
I think even then though, because I remember the level pretty clearly.
Mm-hmm.
There is quite the fear element to it.
Yeah,
especially because you weren't expecting that level of a supernatural element.
Yes.
Throughout the entire first part of the story, you got the idea that there were like zombies,
Yeah.
kinda, and like they would walk around and you would just be like, you would just stab
Them,
and
yes.
then
Yep.
you would just walk away. It's like they're like, and they're just like, all right, well, I don't have to waste an arrow on these losers, but like,
Correct.
it still. I mean, I think the one barrier is that these games are hard to play now, but like as far as the level design and everything, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I mean, I'm to the point where I know in my heart they're hard to play now, so I won't go back and play them because I don't want my memory spoiled, because I love this series so much.
I got them off of Humble Bundle one time, and I literally paid $1 for each. It's
fuck yeah.
So I was literally just going to try it anyway, and it wasn't a graphical powerhouse, so I was like,
sure,
fuck it, yeah, let's go with
it. And then Thief 3 had a level called Shalebridge Cradle, which was another straight up horror.
Wait, is that Deadly Shadows?
Deadly Shadows, yeah.
Okay,
there you go. Thief.
I've got one last one, and that's Majora's Mask.
Oh, that's a good one.
Not technically a horror game, but there's so much disturbing imagery and things to think about. Yeah. Especially like one of the big themes of Majora's Mask is incoming death and the existential horror of remembering that life is limited and we've only got so much of it.
That was the darkest Zelda game.
That is. There's a whole alien abduction thing, which at the time I was so scared but intrigued by. And there's also like, when you put on a mask, your face transformed. Link screams about it like it hurts.
Yeah.
You transform into something else, like a monster. There's so much going on in this game that I like. Still, even now, I'm like, they did an update for the 3DS, which I played all the way through.
I got that one, yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. They remove a lot of scarier elements.
Do they? Okay.
With the graphical update, it doesn't have the same effect.
Oh.
It might be because I'm older, but it also might be because on a CRT television, you can tell that this game was made for that. The polygons, the lighting, wonderful. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of the game itself and how it works, but everything else about it it really vibes with me. This could have been my favorite Zelda game if I liked most Zeldas.
Sure.
I'm more of a Wind Waker boy. That tells you how much I like cartoons. So,
cartoons are good. Majora's Mask is good. I have yet to finish that. The only time I ever played it was on a 3DS, the 3DS version. I didn't get through it, but I hear you. Yeah, I mean, even when the time's running out, that's fucking scary, man.
That's scary. Well, that's like, why
I didn't say fuck.
Well, even thinking about that, that's also why the first Pikmin is really scary.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've recently learned most people haven't played a Pikmin game. Have you played a Pikmin game, Josh?
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Have you?
No.
Oh my God. I feel
What's
like
matter?
I thought that was like a primo Nintendo property. I literally thought that was
it is.
One of the biggest ones.
It's just,
this is what
I don't know
scares me though.
Yeah.
Is I bought it and I was just like, this is so cool. And I used to be like, oh, it's so stressful. It's kind of an RTS. It's Nintendo's version of it, essentially.
Yeah.
So many people have not touched this.
Yeah, man. I haven't.
People talk about that game. I don't know.
It's not like I don't want to.
People talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I hear
Am I one of the world's biggest Pikmin fans?
I think there's other
I think this might be like 2 more.
I hear people talk about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Social
they made 3
media.
fucking games for the love of God.
2 is astonishing. 3, which is coming out end of this month, deluxe, which I'm buying literally because I just miss the video game. That is one of the best games that the Wii U has ever produced. I'm talking like top 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna get something, I would highly recommend it. Pikmin 1 though scared the crap out of me because there are like these mushroom dogs that chase you. Really gross.
I hate mushrooms. I hate dogs.
They eat all your friends you spent so much time.
I'm just kidding. I love mushrooms
taking
and dogs.
care of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean that's what.
Yeah,
You grow them.
it's like
It's
it's a metaphor for so much.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Man.
Okay,
Yeah.
Totally.
All right, Josh, you want to close it out with one more scary moment from Josh Land? Is your hand okay?
Thumb.
What happened?
Semi-pro football. I broke it 4 years ago.
Oh.
And
Do you
it's been haunting me the last...
Reset it tonight?
Whoa.
Went to the snowmobile joint
Get the
all the way
midsummer
across.
hammer. Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I got some leg cramp pills. Maybe they'll help you out.
You got pills for me, baby?
If I could... Do you have an actual ghost story? Have you experienced a ghost?
I've experienced some weird shit. I grew up in the middle. You don't know this probably. I grew up in the middle of a cemetery.
Did?
Ooh, in the
Like
middle of
I was
one?
surrounded by graves.
Oh, okay.
So my grandfather, I don't know the story of why or when, but he owned a house that was it was directly surrounded.
A gravekeeper's house.
Well, he used to rent it out to people. Then my dad bought it off of him.
Oh.
And so I grew up. I lived there for like
Airbnb that
18
shit.
years. It was very,
You can make a lot of
for the
money.
most part, very peaceful. You don't have any neighbors.
Sure.
Except, the dead.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
but,
so quiet.
This house is like 150, 160 years old. It's old as dirt. It's very kept up, though.
Okay.
But it's old. There is a well. It's kind of scary.
Oh, the
underneath the
wells are
basement.
always-
Oh, there's a well
Underneath the basement.
In the basement, going down to the right.
Precious.
You need to crawl through dirt to get to it. There's a little hole. Kind of creepy.
Wow. Josh, go get some water.
There could totally be a body down there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's probably a bunch.
Depends on how the water tastes.
Yeah,
Tastes fine.
don't drink the
I
water.
I drink it a bunch.
Wow.
Big and strong.
I forgot. Yeah, you were a graveyard
yes.
kid.
Yeah.
I would be grossed out.
Yeah, but I did see an old guy disappear once, daytime, in the middle of the graveyard.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
And he was just he looked like a farmer version of the caretaker who was extremely old, and he actually did die a few years later.
So like
he was a
younger
fucking
version of him?
asshole.
Wow.
He's one of the scariest dudes ever.
Get off the property. You guys
that is
Talk
a
like
scary
that. Yeah.
voice.
Oh god.
angry at
I was a little kid. And
Super
that's
Dave
how
Osborne.
he yelled at us
Wow.
because we were kids, and
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I'm debating actually doing another podcast, and then this could be like a Patreon exclusive thing.
we doing scary stories with Dylan.
Well, no,
And Josh
I want to get
and
into because I'm huge into like your like alien stuff, like paranormal things. I'm not necessarily a believer.
Putting things in
I love the
butts.
storytelling though. I can tell when people are lying, and like for the most part, the people I talk to, like it's just like. You're fucking lying. You
Right.
saw what you saw.
You really believe
It's
that
like,
shit.
But that's what's fascinating because I have begged ghosts. I've literally been like, I've done rituals. to have
Tempting ghosts.
come.
Yeah.
No ghosts. Or like I'll be like, hey,
Well, that's
aliens,
no
you can
fun.
abduct me anytime. No alien abductions.
So you're
Not that I'm
just
aware
putting
of.
yourself
See,
out there, and
they-
that's not fun for them.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, they want this. Yeah.
Is it not sexy
You
enough?
can't scare somebody who's ready for this.
Do I have to shake my little butt? It's
That's
my
not
butt's-
you.
my
You
butt's
already
actually
are.
nice and
That's the
plump.
thing.
Depends what
You need
ghost
to,
you're
you
into.
need to hide your little butt.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know.
Okay, well, thank you guys. We hope you all have a great Halloween and a safe Halloween.
Hallow?
Hallow.
He must be from Milwaukee.
Yo, you hallow.
Watertown.
You want to
Hallow.
drink some milk?
Mal.
Halloween.
Miak.
Halloween.
Scared stupid.
This is Halloween. And we want to know some of your favorite scary, non-scary games. So go ahead and email us at hairofthedogcast@gmail.com.
I will field all of it next time.
You will.
Just fuck it. If you send it in, I will talk about it.
Or messages or whatever you want. We'll have a mailbag episode coming up soon.
Or commit to some sort of like witch ritual and summon a ghost and talk to me about that. Frankly, that's great.
That's right.
Here's the dogcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, Dylan, where can they tweet us at?
You shouldn't have asked me that one.
He
I just did.
has the media.
Do you think
He logs in every day. He's just flying.
hot dog cast?
Yeah, there you go. Twitter at HotDogcast. Yeah,
Is that right?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then Patreon.
Yep. Patreon/hairofthedogcast.
If you're suffering right now, just enjoy us. We all gotta be in this together. So
Hell yeah.
If you really do want to support us, though, tell us if you got a friend who loves video games, just recommend us to a friend. That's the best you can do. 5 stars on what is it now? Podcast.com or
iTunes.
iTunes.
Be
Is
great.
it still iTunes?
It's like Apple Podcasts. Sorry.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And if you really want to support us, that's the way to do it. Otherwise, like, I don't know, take it easy. Take care of yourself.
Watch
each other.
scary movies for a few days.
It's a good time to do it. Yep.
Okay, round table question right away.
Yep.
Scariest movie.
Oh boy, I think I have an answer for this, but it's not. I can't think of it.
Hereditary recently.
Hereditary. Really?
Hereditary.
Fucking loved it.
Okay.
I couldn't stop thinking about it for days.
That's a good one. I think my favorite scary movie is Get Out.
Get Out.
Of recent years, for sure, but not the scariest.
Mine is Meet the Feebles. It's also my favorite movie of all time. Watch that if you can.
Feebles are real peoples too.
Feebles are puppets, but I'm not talking like feebleism. Like your grandma can't walk without a cane.
Goddamn feeble. We love grandma. Oh my god. Okay, everybody. We'll see you next time, and stay tuned for Raw Knocks coming up next week. We love you. Good night. Oh.